IDs going through security because I think so many people waited till the last minute to get their enhanced driver's license. I'm not one of them since I got my enhanced driver's license probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Now, passports and military ID are among other forms of ID that are accepted at TSA checkpoints. You can go to the TSA website to see all accepted IDs. Now, you still can travel without any accepted ID, but you're going to be pulled from the line and you're going to be screened heavily, which, of course, is going to take more time and may endanger making your flight. Reporting live from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
And we have breaking news now just into WSB. Smoke billowing from the Sistine Chapel at this hour. It is black smoke. Black smoke now billowing from the Sistine Chapel, which of course means they have decided the Cardinals voting on the next pope have not come to a conclusion on who the next pope will be. This will be the only vote today in the conclave. There will be 4 more votes possibly tomorrow, 2 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. But once again, black smoke now billowing from the Sistine Chapel, which means no pope just yet. Now a WSB Money update. The Federal Reserve decides not to change interest rates today. Money reporter Kelly O'Grady says it means rates will remain high for a while longer.
The consumer is sort of the loser in the short run because we want to be able to go out and buy a house and we want those mortgage rates to come down.
The decision to hold steady on rates defies calls from President Trump, who is asking the central bank to make rate cuts. It is now 3:03. The Von Haessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. In the 24-hour traffic center, it's Alex Williams.
Better news in West Atlanta. Coming out of downtown, they held all lanes, got the stall off to the right. I-20 westbound, Langhorne Street, exit 54, but already slowed through downtown, starting southbound from the 85-400 merge down to I-20. Northbound delays from University Avenue up to Freedom Parkway. Looking for a new crash in DeKalb County. I-20 westbound past Panola Road, starting to jam the ride through Lithonia. And on the south side, right lane crash in Locust Grove, 75 northbound Bill Gardner Parkway, exit 212. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies with isolated rain showers throughout the afternoon. High near 70, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 79. Friday, mostly cloudy, high 76.
Right now, it's 64 in Roswell, 69 in Fairburn, and 68 in Villa Rica. And once again, repeating the breaking news from the Vatican, smoke billowing right now from the Sistine Chapel. It is black smoke, thick black smoke, which means no pope has been elected. More news coming up at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
I'm so glad that Bill Caiaccio confirmed the black smoke billowing from the Vatican. I thought the black smoke was billowing because of Real ID here in the U.S.
Well,
I thought that's what it was, but now we know.
Well, it would have been white smoke, because white smoke means it's real, so we do have Real ID.
Here in the United States.
Yeah, I saw it. It said, no pope. Shouldn't that just be nope?
Shorten it.
Yeah, nope.
That's nice.
Yeah. And when we see the white smoke, we'll report, yep. But for now, it's nope. We do not have a new pope. But I think, people kind of enjoy it. Maybe they do know who the pope's going to be, and they're just like, you know what? Let's put on a little show here. Come on.
It's the first vote.
Yeah, it's the first vote.
We know, but how often does that happen?
We like the dramatics.
Let's have a little drama, huh?
This last guy, he was the first round, right?
I can't remember. I have to be honest with you. I cannot remember. Although George Clark has a computer, and he can look it up.
Ooh.
He can
one of those
Google
big computers that fill the room.
Yeah, it's like it's called like the Cenevac something or
the Cenevac 6.
Yeah, it takes up it's got this big tape things go round
Yeah,
and
those
round.
reels.
Yeah. At one time, some monster from space came in and trashed the damn thing, but they've gotten it fixed. We have a good engineering staff here, and they've taken care of it. So George can access the UNIVAC 1700. What's that face
It's
about?
been centuries since the Pope was elected on the first ballot.
Yeah, see, they know his first ballot is a little too. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just
It's ceremonial.
Let's have a little. Can we have a little mystery, a little
Rank
drama
choice.
here? We may not do this again for another 20, 25 years. Let's turn it into a show. But that's the breaking news for now. Nope.
Nope.
Yes, that's the way that it is. And
Nope.
again,
Nope.
as
Nope.
as Jared Yamamoto just brought up, big day. I think it's going to be a bigger weekend. I'm glad I'm not going through an airport this weekend. They were smart to make the first day that you had to have Real ID a Wednesday, because you would know this better than me, but I think that's the least amount of traffic generally, because business people come back on Monday or Tuesday, they fly out on Friday.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are very light.
Yeah, so it's a good time for it, but and so things are moving, I guess pretty well.
So far, there's
The
not.
TSA.
I'm actually looking at the live feed of all the different TSA delays, and it actually is not looking bad.
I didn't know there
across
was a
the-
live feed.
Oh, yeah,
look
you
at.
could
I
do
had
that.
no idea.
You can go to TSA.com. You can look at all the different TSA
it's-
checkpoints across the
It'll
line.
say like how long you'll have to wait in line at each one.
Sorry, I'm filing my nails.
So, yeah, I think but starting this weekend, when the traffic starts to build up a little bit, there's going to be some people in line who don't have the Real ID, have not heard of this somehow. Now, I guess they must be warning people when you're buying tickets, but it doesn't matter how much you warn people. There's going to be the guy who, I fly all the time.
Yeah, well, when you buy a ticket, there's all these buttons where you have to acknowledge, like, don't
Okay.
bring weapons on the plane, don't bring
Right.
anything like that. You're like, and everyone's just like, okay.
I'm gonna bring my samurai sword.
Yeah, it's like, okay, acknowledge.
Here's my emotional support chainsaw.
No, that's going to have to go. That's going to have to go in cargo.
And I know for a fact that in those acknowledgments, it does say Real ID on there, but people are just like,
Then, yeah, they're just kind of clicking through, so it might
How
be
do
a
you
good
know if
idea.
you have it? I think
It's
I
got
might
a
have
star.
my-
You on your license. There's a
Ooh,
kind
a
of a gold
star.
star. Isn't that what it is? Like
That's
a gold
exactly
star.
it.
So that's it.
Exciting.
That's it. If you have the star, then you have a Real ID.
I have the star.
There you are. You're in.
Yay!
What about
white
you,
smoke for autumn.
Tim Andrews? Do you?
Yay!
I've asked this question before, and I've forgotten the answer, but yes, I have the star.
Okay, so there you go. You've asked
On the show, we talked about it maybe
Oh,
a
okay.
year or two
oh,
ago.
and you asked, how do you know?
Yeah.
That's all right. See, we get new people. So it's okay to have a conversation that we had a year ago. I mean, some people are going to be like, rerun, but
Tim could never vote for the new pope. No drama.
yeah,
No.
that's right. You just said
He's like, I remember I had this before, and I remembered that I said no.
you got to have a little bit of drama. That's what people like. They like a little bit, not too much, not too much.
A little bit, though.
I avoided it today at the grocery store.
By not walking up to Charles Barkley and saying, "Hey, you're Charles Barkley."
Yes.
and you're
Saying, clean your
shopping."
cart, dude.
and you're shopping. But
Yes.
he nodded to you. I like the fact that Charles Barkley shops for himself.
He
really
does.
cool.
He's pushing that cart around,
Yeah.
lumbering around.
I like it. Well, you could have. What I know
Where's
about
the Zatarans?
what I know about
He was in the chip aisle.
what I know about Charles Barkley is that he doesn't mind people coming up to him. I saw him one time, and he was talking about how celebrities that refuse to sign autographs are idiots. Like, man, you always do that. Those are the people, So I don't think he minds.
But
if,
shopping is such an important thing to
is
do.
it really?
Yeah,
Shopping,
you're in a
it's like-
zone.
I think it's a good place for
It's
selfies.
a silent Zen time for me and myself. Cart.
Get away, man! I'm trying to have Zen time.
It's a good time for selfies because the lighting is so good.
Yeah.
You got that fluorescent lighting.
He was looking around like, how come nobody's talking to me?
No.
See, Tim, you had your opportunity. You
Yeah,
should have gone up
I-
and
You're
been
gonna
like,
say, "Hey, I'm on the radio. We talk about you guys. It's great to see you." And then whatever you do, I'm not gonna make that joke.
you'd say, loved the Shaq porta potty stunt that happened last week. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Getting
something like
Shaq
that.
some food that'll keep him, solid.
Yeah. No more olive oil.
Oh, yeah, you heard that one, huh? I'm just trying to get chips, man.
I don't think you would be like that. I think you'd be very nice. People have a lot of nice things to say.
But I'm in that mode that you see celebrities in Atlanta, you leave
want
them
to be
alone.
cool, right? You want to be cool about it. That's right. I mean, that's why, I started to think, and don't even people care about me anymore. But then I realized it's probably just people respecting my privacy, right? They all recognize me, right? I mean,
Of course.
Say yes. Say yes.
Yes,
Of course.
absolutely,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, people are just being nice, right?
Aren't you on the radio?
When you're at the Roswell Piggly Wiggly, believe me, they
We
know
have-
not to approach
Where do
you.
you think Roswell is?
Are there Piggly Wigglies anymore?
North of Helen? Where
Trader Joe's down the street used to be a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, do you really?
Are
Either
there
that
any?
or a Winn-Dixie, I forget.
Are there any Piggly Wigglies left?
Yeah, they're
don't
Piggly.
know.
Yeah, there definitely are.
They're still Piggly Wigglies.
In Atlanta, in the metro?
I don't know
Or do you
about
have to
the
go down to, like,
Metro.
Valdosta?
I don't know. Let me see.
Come
So
on,
it's
man.
So big.
Like one of those
Probably
stories, my algorithm in the YouTube kept, I found a Blockbuster and it was open.
There are a couple in South Atlanta, believe it or not.
Oh, okay, I believe it.
Kinda-
Believe it or not.
So those people must just own them because they're not a national chain anymore, right? Do you buy the name or something?
I
And
feel like- I
it's
mean,
got to be
it-
like an independent kind of thing.
It
right?
looks pretty consistent when you see that logo, so I think that they do have to buy the franchise. But I'm
Right.
going to look into this.
But it's got to be something like when you,
They're on
you know,
the-
I found out that D-bag who used to do the get rich things on YouTube. Do you know the guy? He'd be in his garage and there'd be like a Ferrari behind him, and he'd be like, "Oh, and all you need for this is knowledge." He wore glasses, like. So that guy apparently owns the Radio Shack name. Look it up, George. Who owns the Radio Shack name? And there's a few Radio Shacks. And I'm like, that D-bag? I thought he was a total con artist. Like, I didn't know that he owned any.
Unicomer Group.
Do we have to dump that?
No, it's called
No, it's the name.
Unicomer Caribbean Holding Company.
Do you see that guy with the glasses?
Mario Simon.
Oh, okay, that's a different
This
guy.
guy?
Down
No, not that guy. Not that guy. At one point, according to this thing, I watched this whole thing on the rise and fall of Radio Shack yesterday. It was like 30 minutes long. It was fascinating.
Piggly Wiggly, a franchise.
It is a franchise. So it's in how many? Now take a look. Next question for AI. How many states have a Piggly Wiggly?
I'm going to say 38.
Was it ever that big, or was it always a thing of the South?
I felt
I
like
thought it was just the South.
Yeah, it's because we think, we're thinking about the South in the 50s and 60s.
18.
Piggly Wiggly.
That's right.
18
I mean,
states.
what northern person's going to call the grocery store the Piggly Wiggly?
It might be
I could see
fascinating.
somebody in Wisconsin go calling it.
I
Hey,
grew up, it was
No.
IGA.
It says New York here. They go as far north as New York.
Look at that. We used to have IGAs, and that's for Independent Grocers Association.
That store was always the one that had nothing in the aisles.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was like, last time I lived in a town with one, I was in third grade. So I don't really remember anything. I wasn't really asking. Like, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that I saw, strangely enough, because I lived in a small place called Wolcott, New York, which was, usually people just had summer cottages, but we were poor as hell, so we were there in the winter. And they had an IGA, and I had this memory, so I'm probably 7 years old, of seeing, they had a record section. And I remember seeing a Roxy Music album with this really hot girl,
Yeah.
like on the rocks, like climbing on that one. And I was like, wow, that blew me away. And now that I think about it, why was I seeing that in an IGA?
Were they discount?
I don't know. I think what it was is this was a small, this is like a cottage town. Most people are only there in the summer. So it might be that there's just not a lot of stores. So if you're in an area like that, I had teenage brothers that lived there and whatever. So it might be one of those things where you're not going to have a record store. So in a small town, maybe we'll have a little record section. But for a third grader, that album cover was quite eye-popping.
Oh, yeah.
Siren, 1975.
It's 1975. Go to the one before that because they had girls on their albums. Many albums.
For Your Pleasure.
What would be
73?
73. What is she doing?
She's kicking her leg up. And
Okay, that's the one I saw.
Strutting in front of the city.
Kicking her leg up?
You remember the Strutting album? Is that the one you
I
liked?
can't remember. You know what? I have to say, I think that Roxy Music was easy to see on the album cover because I saw that, but I didn't know what the name of the album
You've
was.
got 1972's Roxy Music, and she's splayed across the bed.
It was one of those.
One of those, yeah.
It was one of those. And to this third grader, I think the hyphenated.
I'm interested in this, and I don't know why.
It's not. I think it's going to be great music.
I'm just going to watch this.
My moment like that was Cher's Take Me Home. She has the Valkyrie outfit and the bikini.
The video?
No, the album cover where she's
okay.
dressed like a Valkyrie and she's partially nude.
What was that, like 88?
No, that's
Earlier?
78 or 79.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I thinking of? When she was on the ship. It was like the 90s.
That was just back,
88.
turn back
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was I guess in America, 1973, that was considered shocking what I saw. But what I saw last night on episode 4 of The White Lotus season 1,
It's old hat.
a little more shocking. My goodness,
I'm just
gracious.
glad that you've jumped into White Lotus and that
I'm enjoying it.
So far, you are enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I am. Maybe I'm a prude. I don't know. And we all know I'm a recovering shock jock. So anybody listening be like, well, who is he to talk about, shocking stuff or shocking purposes? And it has nothing to do with the sexuality. I think that there's too much heterosexual sex in everything. And I mean graphic. I don't mean, showing that they're into each other. I mean graphic stuff. And I don't know. It makes me think that was just there to shock. And the reason that I say that, I don't know, I'm not going to say what it was, but for one thing, I don't want to spoil it for people because it's kind of a gag. It's a laugh line as well as, being rather shocking. But I don't know. I feel like, where is the line? I don't want to go there. What if something is so well written, so well, such great cinematography, I mean, that particular thing was only there to shock. Now, here's why I'm saying that. Because you could have gotten the same moment across just fine if he opened the door and they're just kind of like rolling around. It all would have worked exactly the same. You would have gotten it. The joke would have worked. The moment would have worked exactly the same. So is there and I don't watch many streaming shows. I watch some, but I'm not like everybody else who watches everything. So is there like a kind of a war that goes on for if that show did this, then we're going to have this, or we're going to take it to this next level.
You got to watch The Boys because that just took everything to the very limit.
Okay. So I think I sound like an old man shouting at the clouds or whatever, but
it is there to shock. That's all.
Yeah. And but the rest of the show is doesn't necessarily need that, but it might be a game that you have to play in that.
By putting that scene in there, it makes you look up from your phone. You're like, whoa.
Oh, wait, there's that too. I hadn't thought about that. Actually, it might be that people have such short attention spans that you really have to have every once in a while just kind of aha.
It's like, whoa, okay.
And you're fighting with everything that's online nowadays, so you got to have a little.
Well, there's that too. There's that
extreme.
too. But I don't want to be like the old man or whatever. And like I say, I think that it's always been in stuff like when movies, but you don't go to the movies every night. So back when 70s, 80s, whatever, when I was going to movie theaters, even though I liked movies, I mean in a month full of movies, maybe I saw 4 in the theater or 5 or something like that. I'm not watching stuff constantly in theaters. So there was graphic stuff, violence, sex, all of that kind of stuff. But every movie, if I went to see 4 movies in a month, they weren't all rated R. One might be PG-13 or something like. So it's like something you're going, oh, it still kind of stands out. Whereas it seems to me like my wife watches everything that's streaming, and it's just like it seems like if you do that, there's just going to be graphic sex always. And it's kind of weird because I feel even stupid saying it because I'm like, oh, you old whatever. But if you're watching a steady diet of it, it's kind of overwhelming, isn't it? As opposed to, hey, we went to the movies, it was a great movie. And, remember how shocking it was in The Godfather when what's-his-face had his eyeball shot out?
Mo Green?
Yeah, that was at the time that it happened, it was like, or the first time I saw The Deer Hunter.
Ugh.
And the first, playing Russian roulette and the first bullet that goes off, it's like, I had never seen anything like that before. And it was, wow. And it was integral to the plot. And it didn't seem gratuitous. It was just like, wow, I've never seen that. Have we gotten to the point now where that nerve has been hit on so much that it's kind of dead? So you have to really, really kind of keep going.
Gotta slap that nerve.
That being said, I would love to see a behind the scenes on how that shot.
Oh, I know.
Because there's like 20 people in the room, and
you gotta have the light guy.
Intimacy coach, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, my guess would be that when you have a scene like that, you shoot it first. like almost like the first thing for the season. You just like, all right, this is a thing. We know
Get
it's
it
a
out of the
thing.
way.
Let's just shoot it first. And I'm sure they have a minimal amount of people. I know with, guy-girl sex even, they, usually if it's a really, really intimate scene, you don't have as many people in the room or on the set. There's no reason to have the guy, munching on a donut in the corner. He doesn't need to be in the room. So I think they do with these scenes. It's only people who have to be there are there. But, you see something like that, and in reality, it's like, sorry, we had bad lighting. All right, reload. We got to do it again. This could have taken 4 hours, But I know I sound like an old man.
Remember, the director of White Lotus is Mike White, and he was on
The
Survivor.
quarterback?
He's not a quarterback, but he was on Survivor season 37. So he understands probably the ins and outs of what good TV is.
No, I get it. Look, I think the show is fantastic. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's character, I just absolutely hate to my core, which means she's a great actress. I mean, she is playing every hot, like, teen to early 20s girl that is with that attitude that is just like, ugh.
There is a little bit with her of that old guy writing the young person's dialogue. Like, she
do you think
overuses like memes, language and
Oh,
kind of
really?
internet stuff. A little bit I noticed.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, she
That's
gets
interesting.
Yeah, I can't really say what I want to say, but
No, I know what you're
talk
saying
about on that show.
But the cruelty of that type of girl, I think, is captured quite well.
Yeah,
with
I
her
love the
character,
younger brother character who wants to just get away from the family and kind of.
That's the best arc so far.
I agree.
So far, I'm only 4 in, but and it looks like that's going to get more and more and more where he's going. That's a really cool character arc so far. So, thank you for tuning in to
The
Max Watch, the White Lotus podcast.
Hey, it's new to some people.
Well, it's new to me.
Season 1.
And I'm some people.
That's right.
Because God don't make no trash.
I just watched Chernobyl.
Oh, when did that? Was that from like 5 years ago?
Probably.
How'd it go? I don't know how that ends. How did that go?
Well, let me tell you.
There's a meltdown.
I rewound the scenes like where they were breaking down exactly what happened so many times, almost like the end of Trading Places, where you're like, I got to figure this out. What's going on?
Yeah, I've never seen Trading Places, so it's hard for me to relate to.
But like there's a whole
I know there's a whole explanation
yeah.
of Wall Street and how it works and all that.
Right. And you're like, I can get this. And so the end of Chernobyl, when they're talking about exactly how it all went down, it was like, okay, so the rods, okay, and then and then there's too much steam, but then not enough steam, and then wait, hold on, and then I'd be like, wait, I don't know, I'm lost. Let me go back.
Basically, the water overboils, right? And then the rods melt down. Isn't that what happens?
Well, there was a lot with this one, okay? If you want to get into it.
I don't want to get into it because,
before
before you were even born, I saw the China Syndrome. All right? You don't want to mess with me. Jane Fonda.
I saw the China Syndrome.
I saw it before you were born. So
yeah, I saw it after I was born.
Well, that's good. It would have been difficult to see it before you were born.
Let's review that
I
one
did that for you. I did that for
Let's
you.
do the China Syndrome.
Yeah, let's review it.
Alan Alda in that?
No, Alan Alda was not in it. It was Michael Douglas and Jane Fonda and the diabetes.
Jane Fonda.
The diabetes guy. And Jack
Walter
Lemmon.
Brimley.
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. And
Wilford Brimley.
Jack Lemmon.
Ah, God,
He was
it's
crazy.
melting down.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. No one's listening to me.
Speaking, how does Eric take us from entertainment to politics? Well, Donald Trump is going to go to his first.
Is he watching the China Syndrome?
Almost.
He's a White Lotus fan,
I'm
too.
living it.
He's going to be his first Trump. It's now called Trump's. It's not called Trump's Kennedy Center, but he's made himself the chairman or the president of the Kennedy Center Art Center, and he is going next month to see Les Mis. Les Miserables. And apparently he loves Les Miserables.
The Miserables.
He loves Les Miserables.
I love it so much. It's such a great musical. All those great songs. Look down, blah, blah, blah.
I don't like the musical part. I like the book. I like the...
it's time to read that gigantic book. Victor Hugo.
On my own, pretending he's beside me.
One day more, one more day to endless tariffs. We will take in all their bucks. Love Jean Valjean.
You guys know how I feel about Les Mis.
He stole bread.
He
whatever.
stole it. He stole the candle.
20
whatever.
years for bread?
That's
listen,
right. His sister's child was close to death.
That's
the guy,
right.
Oh, give me all of your excuses. It's okay to be a criminal.
some
The guy
cases.
stole it. He's
All
guilty.
right.
He needs to pay the price.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
Javert.
That's right. I'm just doing my job.
Here's how to make this Mother's Day memorable with a gift of fine jewelry from Tara Fine Jewelry Company. The latest styles, brilliant diamonds, luxurious timepieces, all with Tara's legendary customer service to help you pick the perfect gift for the mom in your life. Just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia in Buford.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
How easy is it to save energy and money in 30 seconds? Let's count the ways. Power down unused devices. Swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs. Adjust your thermostat for the season. Change your air filter. Move furniture away from your vents. And turn off the lights when you leave a room. Georgia Power's more than just your power company. We're your saving sidekick. Get started at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
Window Nation is having their semi-annual sale, including 60% off a house full of windows, a free entry door, and no money down, interest, or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
Hey, get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home for maximum value, and that's without the stress of listing your home on the market. Hey, Sean Hannity here. You know, trying to sell your home can be overwhelming. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the entire hassle, get an all-cash offer, and close within days. That means no showings, no open houses, and the best part, no stress. Just go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer will be, and then you can start packing.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Guys, if you're having ED or performance issues and Viagra and Cialis haven't worked, you need to come see Choice Men's Health. Give us a call or visit us online at choicemenshealth.com. Get your love life back and choose Choice Men's Health.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial Group. Our top story, smoke rises from the Sistine Chapel.
CBS News special report. Exhausted applause in St. Peter's Square as black smoke rises above the Sistine Chapel. So no Pope yet. CBS's Tina Kraus is there.
Smoke is beginning to billow from the Sistine Chapel chimney behind me. The crowd's a little disappointed down in St. Peter's Square, but they have had their eyes trained to the sky for hours, waiting for this signal to the outside world of what was happening inside the Sistine Chapel.
This tourist says he was the last to leave the chapel before the cardinals processed in a few hours ago.
When I was in there, I got on my knees before the altar and I prayed for the cardinals and for the conclave and for the next pope and for the church worldwide.
And the worldwide church represented in that conclave as never before, with 133 cardinals from 70 countries. Again, black smoke has been spotted above the Sistine Chapel, meaning the first round of voting has failed to elect a successor to Pope Francis. The cardinals meet again in the morning. CBS News special report. I'm Vicki Barker.
Now, WSB Money Update. The Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. CBS Money reporter Jill Schlesinger says the Fed is keeping its eye on tariffs.
Clearly, the Fed is seeking direction as to what impact the tariffs will have on the economy.
It is the third time this year the central bank has held rates steady as it presses forward with efforts to combat inflation. Several arrests are made in Georgia as the FBI concludes a nationwide investigation into child sex abuse.
I think this operation shows the FBI's commitment to protecting children, our most vulnerable members of society, from those who prey on them.
FBI Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown says the Atlanta field office charges 9 people in Georgia as part of this operation, including 5 in Atlanta. More than 200 people are arrested nationwide, and 115 children are rescued. It is now 3:32, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. In the 24-hour traffic center, it's Alex Williams.
Sounding a travel advisory on the north side perimeter for those coming out of Cobb heading towards Sandy Springs. A crash leaves only the right lane open. 285 eastbound, the Interloop New Northside Drive, Powers Ferry Road, exit 22, jammed up from I-7, pretty much back to Cobb Parkway now, passing Truist Park. It's also slowing 75 south out of Marietta. Take 75 south to 85 north as an alternate. Travel advisory number 2 is on the Stone Mountain Freeway, Highway 78 westbound, right at I-285. Crash leaves only a right lane open there. You can use Highway 29 Lawrenceville Highway as an alternate. And looks like that earlier crash into Cab 20 westbound past Panola Road, exit 71 has cleared. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy for today with a few more isolated rain showers, high near 70, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with pop-up showers and a few rumbles of thunder, high 79. Friday, mostly cloudy, high 76.
Right now, it's 66 in Alpharetta, 69 in Fayetteville, and 63 in Winder. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Mom deserves way more than flowers. This Mother's Day, give her something no one else can. Jewelry that you built yourself at D. Geller & Son. It's simple. Pick a beautiful ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, and then pick the birthstones that represent your family. Our master jewelers will set the stones you chose in the piece you picked, making it one of a kind, just like Mom. Prices start at just $3.95. Come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Founded by hardworking Georgians in 1992, Builders provides tailored insurance solutions to safeguard workers and business owners from costly accidents. Explore reliable workers' compensation and general liability products at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
Dave Baker here. If the temperature inside your house doesn't fit with the temperature outside your house, you need to call Coolray Heating and Cooling. In May, you can get your HVAC system tuned up for only $79, or you can get up to $2,250 in rebates with the purchase of a complete Carrier comfort system, plus get free attic insulation. For comfort that lasts all year, visit Coolray.com to schedule your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Suwannee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Suwannee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Hey, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here, co-host of The Car Guys with my good friend and brother, Kevin Deutsch, from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Whatever you want to know about buying, selling, leasing, or maintaining a vehicle, Kevin has your answers.
That's right, Shelley. For over 40 years, I've sold, leased, fixed, and financed pretty much every make and model. I've seen it all. If you have any car questions, we'll have the answers every Saturday at noon.
It's The Car Guys, Saturdays at noon on 95.5 WSB, brought to you by Butler Lexus of South Atlanta.
You
fit in fine,
No,
Eric.
I'll just listen to the records.
See, you just get in your head about that stuff. Just go out there. Oh, you can put like a little mask on or something like that while you're out there.
Well, I do. Trump will kick me out of the country. Isn't there a new executive order? You can't attend concerts with masks. All right. Oh, you have some audio. It is interesting that suddenly, and I think because of this movie Conclave, that a lot of people liked, and now they're watching it again, or people watching it for the first time. So there's a lot of interest in who's going to be the next pope, and people watching it. And you get all these experts. Like I look up on CNN, and like every day there's like a panel. Like these clerics must be like, this is their moment, right? How often are they invited to CNN to be on and talk about something?
Seriously.
So, they got to look around. Who does TV? Yeah, Jim, he's good. Send him to CNN.
Lots of pope panels.
Yeah, pope panels going on. So if you haven't heard the news, it's nope. No pope.
Nope.
First day, black smoke. So what do you have here? David Muir?
Yeah, so David Muir has
an
his
expert.
favorite for who he wants to be the next pope.
This is Cardinal Pier Battista Pizzaballa. Am I allowed to have a favorite name here, Father Martin?
That is a favorite name among many people, and someone told me if he is Pope, he shouldn't change his name.
I was going to say, when you're asked which name do you want to take, how on earth could you give that up?
Don't you have to? Look it up, George. I think they have to give up their because there's something different now. They're not the person that they were before they were voted in.
I looked up what the origin of the surname Pizzaballa.
Yes.
And it was about like someone who's not afraid to like be brash and like be out there.
Oh, he's Pizzaballa.
Pizzaballa.
That's a very strong
Very
name right
strong
there.
name.
That's right. To us, we're like, hee pizza. But it actually has a meaning.
Pizza bowl, at the Pizza Hut.
Every pope is free to choose their own name. Many opt to either honor their predecessor or pick from one of the favorites that have come up.
Right, but they have to pick a different name. They pick it, or when you say their own name, do you mean they
Pope
can?
Lady Gaga.
Oh, I don't know.
Pope
I
Gaga.
don't know what. I wonder who the last pope was that just used a regular. Because John Paul was not his name.
They're not legally required to change their
He
name.
took John Paul II because the one that died after a month was John Paul.
Oh, okay. All
right.
But now all these panels, though, they're talking about what it's like inside the conclave. And CBS News, we just played the ABC News clip. CBS News, this is just kind of dating them here. Listen how bad this sounds.
No, most of them will tell you that while that's going on, they're sitting reading their breviary. That's a book of prayers that clergy have, or praying a rosary, or doing. The one thing we know they're not doing is checking Instagram because their devices have all been confiscated.
I believe the kids call it raw dogging it if you're going to go through a long period of time with no electronic device.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well,
Is that what the kids?
We call that something else. I never heard that.
That's referring to the plane. You know, like people are raw dogging.
I have heard it. I've heard that.
When you go on a plane and it's a long flight and you don't choose to watch any of the onboard entertainment.
Right. But
that's raw
also,
dogging.
do you not watch your phone?
You cannot watch your phone.
No,
you
nothing.
literally look
Because
straight
when I was
ahead.
flying
You
back,
look at the seat in front of you, and that's it.
when I was flying back from Spain, but JFK to here, I could see this like teenager in front of me. I was just watching what he was scrolling on TikTok, and I was like, "Wow, you don't have a chance." I mean, like the longest thing was like 2 minutes, and then sometimes he'd go to something and like 10 seconds in now. Oh, there's something.
It's that instant satisfaction you get from TikTok.
Oh, here's a guy in a dress with a beard pranking people. Okay, I'll stick here. Like 2.5 minutes. And then they go, nah. The next thing, nah. And then another one's like some guy telling you how to do something.
How about CBS
You would
News?
like TikTok, I think, if you were on it.
I don't like social media. I don't like the fact.
No, it's not. It's not like that because it would give you what you are interested in.
That's the danger.
Well,
it's like saying,
whatever.
"Hey, a little bit of heroin, first crack rock's free." I mean, that's the danger. I don't want to become one of those people. I want to.
But you won't because you're not like that with other things. You don't like go overboard constantly with YouTube, do you?
No, that's what I watch rather than like the time and TV. So like in the morning when I wake up, when I'm eating breakfast, I'll watch a little YouTube.
Before you put on your makeup.
That's right. And then I spend like 2.5, 3 hours, working on the show, putting the thing together. And then when I'm done with that, I've got another hour or so. I watch a little more YouTube.
So like right now, like,
but it's not like I don't watch it all day long. I don't watch it on my phone. I only watch it at home, like it's television.
I'm just saying, if you started watching it just a little bit, it wouldn't have to be like constant.
And then I'll
the
be
way
like
that people
everybody
do it.
else. This is killing the world. Why would I want to be a part of?
Well,
it's
YouTube. You
bad
might have
enough
said that
I'm
about
working.
YouTube until you got into it.
What's that?
You would have. I think you probably talked that way about YouTube until you got into it, and then you
Well,
saw what it had to offer. Especially because YouTube in the early days was very different than what it is now.
Well, yeah, and I didn't watch it then. I watched it now because people make a lot of genuinely good essays, and they only last like 20 minutes. So you can learn about, I don't know, Leonardo da Vinci, and you get
So
a
there
thing.
is stuff like that also with TikTok, because TikTok is very different than when it first started. It's not just the dancing. But if you like dancing, it's going to give that to you. But it's not just that anymore.
Like, for example, Eric's algorithm would be like Beatles, White Lotus, and Radio Shack. That's what it would all be
yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I watched
and Piggly
yesterday.
Wiggly, because we talked about
I watched a great 30-minute documentary on the rise and fall of Radio Shack.
You would probably get Radio Shack content.
I watched a multi-part TikTok about a guy taking a train from Virginia to Florida. It's a car train, and it doesn't make any stops.
But was it like influencer-like? I don't like
No,
those.
it was an old man.
Hey, I'm on a train. I don't know.
No, it was this honest old man who was like, I'm in line, and it's it's a lot of people.
And the stuff that I will immediately go away from, even if it's a subject that I like, is if the person starts with "so."
Oh yeah.
If I hear that,
What about "Hey guys"?
Okay, so the Beatles were so popular, right?
Yeah. And "Hey guys," if it's "Hey guys" or "so," it is not. There's no reason to begin a sentence with the word "so." Even if you're actually sewing, I can't imagine starting a sentence with "sew" so, let alone "so so."
I think you should.
What's your favorite thing to do? So
here's why
All
that's
right,
bad.
that's just a one-word answer. That's not a sentence. That doesn't count.
what's the sentence?
So
I like to sew.
I swipe away from those as soon as I hear that, or if
Yeah.
it's an AI voice. If I know it's an AI voice.
yeah, the
Yeah, where
AI
it's
voice.
like, watch me do the thing off here.
No, some of the good science, not really great science stuff, it is somebody types it up and they just feed it into, and that it does get annoying because they'll get a word wrong, and then it'll come back up and they'll say it wrong again because they're just doing it phonetically,
Yeah, that's annoying.
and that is annoying. But you know what?
Because
I don't.
we're looking to it for knowledge, and so we feel like it's giving us knowledge, and then when it messes up, we're like, hey, that's against what our little deal was. We're
Well, and
giving
also,
you
I'm just
knowledge.
so very aware of how all of this stuff is going to just ruin the world. It's already happening.
Maybe give it a 2-week trial, and then give us a full report.
Why? Everybody else is doing it. You know the thing about TikTok? If anything happens on TikTok that's really, really, I find out. How do I find out? Other people are talking about it. So there'll be a story about it. Come up
Yeah,
in
but
my
those are
news
lame
ad.
things.
Well, whatever. I just don't. I don't want to scroll on my phone. I have no scrolling going on my phone.
What if you just
None.
cast it on your
I don't
TV?
scroll. I don't scroll.
You
and
can
I
do
look around.
TikTok.
I look at this world. And it's a sickness. It's a sickness. I'm sorry. Again, old man shouting at the clouds. But I'm telling you, it's a sickness. I heard somebody talking about this the other day. I think it was Colin Cowherd's sidekick. It was talking about the fact that right now, self-help books are the biggest selling books. Everybody between like 16 and 35, 40, they're all, how can I be happy? How can I be happy? And it's very, very simple. It's very simple. You don't have to read, you're going to listen to audiobooks more than you're going to read. I understand the generation, but you don't have to go through all of that. It's very simple, but you're not going to do it. Put the phone down for hours at a time. Put the phone down. You won't believe how much happiness will come back into your life. But, keep going to the self-help books. Keep getting on, all the lectures. Find a personal guru who can help you find your inner self. But it's very, very simple. But again, you're not going to do it. Hours upon hours each and every day, not looking at your phone. You won't even have to find happiness at that point. It will find you. It will wash over you, because when you're spending every day constantly looking at the phone, you are robbing yourself of happiness. It's like a barrier. Happiness is trying to get in, because you are on a dopamine drip. And once you get on that dopamine drip, you need that drip every 30 seconds, every minute, and if you live your life that way from teenage years until, you age out, you are most likely going to be miserable because that dopamine isn't real. At the end of the day, there's going to be a hole in the center of you. Put the phone down for hours a day. and happiness will find you.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB Radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
On 95.5 WSB.
When it rains, it pours right into your crawl space, and that creates that musty smell and dangerous mold growth under your house. Meteorologist Christina Upwards here for American Crawl Space Solutions. Make the smell and the water go away and stop the water from coming back. Call American Crawl Space Solutions. They're experts at keeping your crawl space dry and preventing the mold from growing in your home. Give them a call today.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual Imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
All right, let's do this. This hasn't been changed.
Come on, Eric. Tell us what's happening.
Well, I have been demoted. I am not the What's the Buzz guy. So I turn to Jared Yamamoto and say, Jared Yamamoto, what's the buzz? Tell us what's happening.
A 12-foot plus-sized black woman statue has been erected in Times Square as contrast to white men hero statues. So this is not on Wall Street where, they have the bull and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's not staring down the bull like
Correct.
the little girl did?
There are a couple of statues.
Little girl standing there?
What an impact.
I know. Since that, these statues, they really do change things. I'll bet you, hey, way to go. I'll bet you these soulless, transactional Wall Street brokers, they're going to walk by that statue and they're going to have an epiphany and they're going to say, you know what, I've been doing it wrong. I need to start thinking about humanity. I need to start thinking about investing in plus size stuff. And you know what? I'm changing my life.
They're going to look at it and they're going to make this sound. They're going to go,
Hadn't thought of that before. And then the world is going to change. So congrats. Oh, you just wanted to get attention? Okay, all right. I thought you wanted to change these things never change anything.
There are all these people that are taking selfies with it, that are videoing it.
Yeah. It's making it so. Besides, haven't people already acclimated to the whole plus size thing? It's not like a new idea anymore, is it?
Most people have.
It's like it's not a I think it's a good
not
message.
About it. It's not being acclimated. It's in contrast to the white male representation in statues.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? Next time I'm up there, if I see a Warren Buffett statue, I'm gonna tear it down, and that'll get no one a job or anything. But I will look really, really, really
good.
Go
viral though.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take a selfie of myself with the statue of Warren Buffett that I tore down. I mean, why should he have a statue? He's only the best that's ever done it in the history of the world. Why should he have a statue? I don't understand. Like he's the best stock picker in the history of the world, and he doesn't have a statue up there, does he? How many statues are there on Wall Street? I've been on Wall Street. So
they've been making room for new ones lately.
But are there? I mean, like I know there's aren't the statues around there still from like revolutionary times and things like that? I mean, I don't know that they have like the last CEO of some large. They don't have a statue of that guy, do they? I mean, it's like
CVS.
Like there might be some general or something.
So in Times Square they have one.
Not Times Square. Is this Times Square?
This is in Times Square.
Okay.
Then who cares?
Yeah, it's Times Square.
So one of the
touristy
men.
Yeah,
that
it's a tourist trap.
I had my picture taken with the Cookie Monster, but he was not. I was told Eric. It was not an official Cookie Monster.
Give me cookie.
But he meant money.
Picture with Elmo with the fat lady.
There are two white men statues though in Times Square. One is a World War I hero, and the other
God
one.
Forbid.
Boo.
Al Goldstein, the other one.
People don't know who Al Goldstein. You do. I do, but nobody knows. He was sort of a smart pornographer from New York City. I don't know if it's still now, but in the 80s, if you visited New York City,
especially Times Square,
late at night on TV, there was a channel that was basically a soft porn channel.
Yep.
And this guy, Al Goldstein, had a show at like 11 o'clock at night or midnight. And he would have this segment of the show where he would just give out FUs, and he would just call out people named Mr. So-and-so. He was a real, like he made...
That was public access TV.
Yeah, he made Larry Flint look like the most buttoned-up guy, like a businessman. He had a magazine called Screw.
Yes.
Right? And that was his...
on the nose.
Yeah, that's
a little on the nose.
Straightforward.
He talk like this.
And that Robin, whatever her name is, she had a show. She was a big kind of stripper / prostitute. Robin Bird, was that her name?
I think so.
She had a talk show with just strippers and porn people. And
I wish I'd seen
this was over the air television in like 1988, 89.
But
90.
at night, though, I take it, right?
Robin Bird is who that was.
Yeah, I think it was on only at night. I mean, we were out during the day.
It's got to be.
But I mean, I was in my late 20s, and it shocked me that it was just on regular tele. I was like, wow, New York. So like, you're like 10 years old. You're just seeing this.
If you're up that late.
Well, I imagine not every parent in New York City is responsible. There's a few here or there.
Yeah.
Slightly irresponsible parents.
Do you know where your children are?
Nope.
Watching cable access.
The other statue, by the way, so the World War I hero, the other one is George C. Cohen, which is a Broadway hero.
Yeah, Andy Cohen's dad.
No, George Cohen is it's the I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. What's his face? The guy who always played the mobster played him in the
James Cagney.
Yeah, he played the
James
movie.
Cagney.
See what the movie about George Cohen was. It was a famous old black and white movie.
Was it Damn Yankees?
No, it wasn't a play. It was his life story. He was a big Broadway songwriter or something like that.
Muckety muck.
And over there, I think that was his. Over there, tell them the Yanks are coming. The Yanks are coming.
That's a World War I song,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, apparently Times Square with the world,
Over there.
You remember that song? That was a big that was a big patriotic song.
Yeah, the movie's Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy.
So now on Times
Not
Square.
as good as over there. Over there, over there. Tell them the Yanks are coming. The
Watch out,
Yanks are
Huns.
coming.
They called the Germans the Huns.
Well,
now Times
they
Square.
deserved it.
Times Square's got that new statue next to these two white men here. So you've got the plus size black woman. So now,
well, you
Finally.
know what today is today the 6th of May?
The 7th of
The
May.
7th of May, 2025 was the day that justice finally came to Times Square, and I think it's a damn good thing.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions, and this ad plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60-plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top story, Cardinals will try again tomorrow to pick the next pope. Black smoke rises from the Sistine Chapel today, signifying they were not able to reach a consensus. CBS News Vatican contributor Monsignor Anthony Figueredo says the next vote comes in the morning.
We need to remember that both the last two pontiffs were elected on the second day. That makes tomorrow even more important. There's going to be a lot of prayer, a lot of maneuvering this evening in order to suss out those top candidates, the leaders in this conclave.
Dr. Susan Reynolds with Emory University's Candler School of Theology explains how the process will work.
The consensus vote needs to reach 2/3, so whoever becomes pope needs 89 votes. And there's no campaigning. They just take continuous votes, essentially, until a consensus emerges.
Cardinals are completely cut off from the outside world during the conclave. It is 72 degrees in Atlanta. How long does the rainy trend continue? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Passengers flying out of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport today are dealing with something new at the security checkpoints.
Getting through TSA security now requires, in most cases, an upgraded driver's license or ID called a Real ID. The TSA says 20% of passengers don't have Real ID. One passenger who does fears being delayed because of that.
I anticipate delays going through security.
Another passenger says she's ready for anything.
I came early. I've got my driver's license and my passport just in case, even though I have a Real ID.
Passports and military IDs are also accepted at TSA checkpoints. At Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
Members of a motorcycle gang face charges in a double murder in Forest Park April 27th.
Our detectives were able to obtain 2 arrest warrants for 2 individuals. Their names are Donnell McKnight, he's also known as 1HQ, as well as Nigel Blackwood. They are both members of the Outcast motorcycle gang.
Forest Park Police Chief Brandon Criss says Blackwood is still on the run. The shooting happened outside of a business off of Jones Road following a territorial dispute. A week-long FBI sting targets child sex abuse with hundreds of arrests nationwide, including some in Georgia.
5 people from Atlanta, 2 from Augusta, and 2 out of the Rome area are facing charges ranging from possession of child sexual abuse material to enticement of a minor.
Operation Restore Justice was designed to coincide with April, which was designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month. So this past week, all 55 field officers participated by conducting arrests.
FBI Special Agent in charge Paul Brown says last week alone, 205 people were arrested and 115 children were rescued nationwide. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A father and son face additional charges in a child molestation case in Hall County. Sheriff's Office spokesperson B.J. Williams says 60-year-old Raimundo Castillo and 30-year-old Edgar Razzo are accused of inappropriately touching 2 more girl victims.
Mr. Castillo was charged with 1 felony count of child molestation, and Mr. Razzo was charged with 2 counts of child molestation and 3 counts of sexual battery on a child under the age of 16.
The first girl reported the abuse to a teacher at her school, and she revealed there were 2 other victims. Atlanta police are searching for a man accused of robbing a woman at knife point on the West Side Trail of the Beltline. It happened last month in the area of Langhorne Street and Sells Avenue in southwest Atlanta. The victim says the man stole her purse and ran off. The woman is not injured. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers, and you could be eligible for a $5,000 reward. We posted photos at WSBradio.com. Now, WSB Money Update. No change in interest rates. The Federal Reserve keeps rates steady for the 3rd straight meeting. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says there are positive signs for the U.S. economy.
Despite heightened uncertainty, the economy is still in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment.
He says the Fed feels it's in a good position to wait for greater clarity on the impact of tariffs. At the closing bell on Wall Street, the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are all higher. It is now 4:04. The Von Haessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
New travel advisory on 285 by the airport. Car fire. It's fully engulfed. Still waiting on fire department to get here. 285 westbound, the Interloop, Riverdale Road, exit 60. Multiple right lanes are blocked. It's going to stack up those rides back through the airport tunnels and I-75. Go ahead and take Forest Parkway westbound as an alternate just south of 285 to avoid that. If you're traveling 285 eastbound in Sandy Springs, that earlier crash at New Northside Drive, Powers Ferry Road, exit 22, that has cleared. Still seeing the brake lights, though, back through Smyrna Vinings towards South Atlanta Road, exit 16. Watching the already slow ride through downtown, it's Kobe Dawkins.
That's correct. 7585 northbound, those delays starting just past Langford Parkway getting to Freedom Parkway, and 75
585 south. Those delays starting well before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies for the rest of this evening. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, warming up to the upper 70s to low 80s. Watching for scattered rain showers and thunderstorms late tomorrow night into early Friday morning.
66 in Lawrenceville, 68 in Decatur, and 71 in Union City. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I've been informed by the producer and lead researcher of the show, Jared Yamamoto, that we have an open mic concerning what I was just talking about, putting the phone down. If you want happiness, you don't have to get a self-help book. Put the phone down for hours a day, and happiness will find you. Scrolling all day long is like a barrier, and happiness is trying to find you, and you're keeping it out. And when I was done with that, Tim Andrews said, does sleeping count? No, I'm talking about while you're awake for hours a day, putting the phone down. You will bring down the barrier. You won't have to look for happiness. It will actually be able to, it's trying to get to you, but the barrier will drop and it will find you.
There might be a loophole here, Eric.
But if I put my phone down now, I can't listen to you guys.
No,
I'm in a conundrum. I don't know what to do. Please advise.
I will. I will advise.
Does he think you need to have your phone open?
No, we're talking about scrolling. I have a phone. I use it in a utilitarian. I don't talk on the phone, as everybody who knows me knows, and people who just begin to know me use it against me because my wife gets on the phone. I'll hear her. It's like 30 minutes. How can you talk on the phone for 30 minutes? What? I can't even imagine.
Phone calls should not last more than 5 minutes ever.
What are you talking about?
I can't.
Sometimes you're catching up with people.
Oh, I have great conversations.
Texting.
On my way in to work every single day, I have about a 15-minute commute. I usually catch up. Then that's when I'm
okay, now that's not bad. Now,
that's my time to catch up with
If you're hands-free, you're stuck in traffic anyway, you're doing it, yeah, that's fine if you have to. But I just don't enjoy talking on the phone. It's not the people that I'm talking to. I just don't enjoy. I am talking about scrolling, staring at that damn screen. You see it around here with the young people. They leave and cannot make it to the hallway without,
that's
it's
bad.
immediate. It's immediate. If I'm not doing this thing that I have to do, I'm scrolling on the phone. You can use it against me. You could say I'm an old man. People talk about the opioid crisis. This is a crisis. Everybody, hey, can we recruit a few people between the ages of 18 and 25? Just don't play video games. Can somebody in that age group, please, somebody just not play video games?
Yeah, but Fortnite's doing a collab with Star Wars now.
I know.
It's going to be awesome.
Point of order, can we LARP?
Now, you know what? There
in the park?
There is some real social engagement there.
Okay.
I mean, you're a nerd. You got to engage with the nerds. I'm kidding with you.
Excuse me, could I still participate in the LARPing?
Yes, of course you can, but you're a girl, so we're going to be very awkward and uncomfortable around you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm also awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's good. She doesn't sound to me like she's blending in too well to those crowds.
Kind of cute, even though she looks like a pear.
Hello, fair sir. Shall we engage in
Alas, fair wench,
battle?
fetch me a drink.
You know what? Oh, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, you're going right for the sex.
Wow. We're LARPing.
Well, okay, it's not
I'm
real.
a mighty battleless woman who is
The laundry's not done yet.
Hey,
you see what happons even
I'm
in
gonna
LARPing?
find a new LARPing group.
Yeah, I think you should.
Good luck.
A more progressive LARPing.
Yeah, you need to find some more progressive nerds.
Girl boss LARPing is down there.
So yeah, I think that's fine. Get together with your friends at the park. You're doing something. Yeah, okay.
Is it okay to scroll?
I wouldn't have your whole life surrounding you.
Pokemon Go, group of people getting together.
Nah,
True.
Oh yeah, but they're on your phone.
Still looking on your phone.
What about
what if I'm answering emails?
If you're answering
Ooh,
emails, you're
see?
doing something. It's utilitarian. I think
But I
it's
gotta
fine.
scroll through my email.
What if
you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about social media.
I'm just clearing the air. Let's figure it out.
if an unhoused individual is coming up to your car, and
A
you're
homeless
parked-
guy?
a homeless guy is
Yeah,
coming up
thank
to
you.
your car.
I almost didn't understand your language there.
And they're-
Unhoused.
and they're
The
coming
guy
up.
lives in a trailer is unhoused.
When
That's true.
when Andre 3000 got home the other night, was he unpianoed?
All right, when a homeless guy comes up to your window, is it okay then to pretend like you're scrolling so that way they don't?
No,
yes,
it's not.
absolutely.
You look them in the eye and you
Yeah.
say no, thank you.
Yeah, no,
and
you
that's
look-
it. And then they leave you alone.
Yeah, no, I act
I
like
feel so guilty doing
I,
that.
do- I listen. I do feel
you should
guilty.
feel more guilty ignoring them, like they're not human beings.
No, because they're going to take advantage.
Get
of
out of here.
No, they won't.
Yeah, listen.
I do it all the time.
I think it's terrible.
You're
but
better
listen,
than us.
I pay taxes.
It's true.
All right, I pay taxes, and I would, I'm against spending all my money on the other side of the world in some damn wars that I don't care about. But I'm all for my tax money going to taking care of actual problems in my community. And so there's nothing I can do. I'm not helping somebody. But besides, what am I going to do? Like do a swipe?
You don't have to help.
Like what? Who holds actual dollars anymore or change to give people?
I do. I keep it in the car.
Why? Are you going through a toll booth somewhere?
Just to have it.
Even toll booths don't take cash.
You never know when you come
That's
across
true.
a
You can't find a teller at a toll booth. There's nobody there.
gumball machine. You might need a quarter.
But no, you don't give them anything. You don't if you don't want to. That's fine. But you just look at them.
That's
and
cruel.
Just, like,
I
no.
feel so guilty making that initial eye contact and then telling them no. I just feel so guilty, which is why I just look at my phone and I scroll. I'm like, okay.
See, I think that's worse, honestly, because I think if that were me, I would feel like, what am I, invisible now? I'm making eye contact with you. I'm a person who's here.
But
right?
Mom-
And so if you just at least look at them and acknowledge them and say, no, thank you, then they're like, okay. And then they move on.
Can I say something terrible?
Oh,
Do I have
it's your show.
I mean, this is from experience. My wife and I have been together 38 years. And so we were young people, and we went through a little phase where we were going to help everybody that we saw. My wife, there was this homeless lady, and she was around like the house, and like my wife makes soup, bring it down, whatever. If you really want to get frustrated, try to help a homeless person. It will frustrate the hell out of you because there's just something different going on there, and it might be drug addiction,
illness,
might be a
drugs.
mental illness. The two may go together. It might be drugs leading you to mental illness. Who knows? But it's something that should be taken care of by professionals in a very generous way, and not in a hey, throw them into an institution. I'm not talking about that, but I believe it's something that we should try to solve, and it's just yet another thing that all these politicians are well, that's just the way it's going to be. It would be better for them to be taken care of properly by professionals in a compassionate way, and it would be better for us because we paid our taxes. We shouldn't have to feel guilty because we're driving to work. So everybody's standard of life is being brought down. Nobody is better off for being homeless. Now, there might be somebody who's an influencer who's going to teach you how to be. I don't know. That guy's probably got rich parents somewhere.
Probably, yes.
But what? This is something I wanted to bring up. On 400, right before you get to Sidney Marcus exit southbound, can somebody do something about this? There's like all this ACAB graffiti. All cops are bastards and all. How hard is it to get somebody to go down there and just cover that up? And I was looking at it. I'm like, why do I have to see this every day? You go down there with one coat of paint. It's not that hard. And it's public property, so nobody has a right. And then I thought, these types, these progressive, and it's not most progressives, but these uber progressive types, where they're all cops are bastards. They'd be the first one to tell you, don't paint with a broad brush on any type of person, or they'll die on that hill. Why? How? Oh, you're looking at that person because obviously they must be this because you're so. Oh, but all cops are bastards? You're a hypocrite in the way that you see the world. You've decided that when somebody puts on a uniform, you're not going to see them as a human being anymore. And when we're not talking about that subject, you're going to lecture your friends about how they shouldn't paint with a broad brush with every different type of person that's out there. So first of all, they're hypocrites, and they're probably young and stupid, so who cares? As long as they're not violent. But for a week or something, this is there? Nobody goes to that. I mean, is anybody listening from the Department of Transportation? It's on 400. What? How long does that stay there?
I'm
Do
assuming
you have an
it's based
intern? Give them a paintbrush
Is it
and a
city or
bucket of
state?
paint. I don't know what the 400 is.
Assuming that's Sandy Springs probably that handles that
No,
bridge.
it's Sidney Marcus. Is that Sandy? Yeah, I guess maybe
that'd
it
be
is.
Buckhead.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it is Atlanta
Right.
then.
How hard is it? Give an intern a bucket of paint and a paintbrush and say, go, let's go paint over it. Why should that message be out there for everybody driving by?
Well, the
That
interns
ignorant message. You know what? Cops are people. And just like people, there's some you'll meet that you'll like, and there's a whole lot that you'll meet. I mean, there's a whole lot that you'll meet that you'll like, and some people you won't like because they're human beings. But this idea from the left that if you put on a uniform, that's the one time you could paint with a broad brush, it's offensive. Hey, let's say good afternoon to the non-offensive Alex Williams, who's watching a car fire, unfortunately, on 285 by the airport.
Hey, good afternoon, Eric and gang. Yeah, they're just getting it doused. This is 285 westbound, the Interloop Riverdale Road, exit 60. Travel advisory, just a left lane is open, and the end of that on-ramp from Riverdale Road to 285 west. Just south of there's a good alternate you can use. You can use Forest Parkway over toward Godby Road. That is a good alternate to get you around those delays by the airport. Elsewhere, 285 east and southbound, the Interloop filling in, leaving Peachtree Boulevard in Doraville down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway in Clarkston. Westbound, the outer loop, we're also seeing those brake lights from Ashford and Woody passing Roswell Road, exit 25 in Sandy Springs. How's the ride on I-20 into Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins?
It's a little sluggish 20 eastbound as you leave I-285, getting past Panola Road, and westbound rides send you on and off the brakes, leaving Stonecrest, getting to the perimeter. And this report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Build a self-care routine at Whole Foods Market. Save 33% on body care and candles with Prime through May 13th. While supplies last, shop in store or online, terms apply. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
133 cardinal electors, the most of any conclave.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide and Catholics here in Atlanta?
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
For breaking news, the details, and what it all means to you, stay with 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
When your termite bond renewal comes in the mail, do you cringe wondering, how much more are they going to charge me now? Switch to Breda Pest Management and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. If your termite service doesn't inspect inside, how do you know you're protected? With Breda, you get total peace of mind that your home is termite-free inside and out, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 full years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We all know spring brings rain showers and a higher risk of water entering your basement. Dave Baker here. If your basement is showing any problem signs, condensation, wet floors and walls, musty smells, mold, or rot, AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can help before it's too late. Visit aquaguard.net and sign up for a free inspection. AquaGuard will inspect your house to find the cause of the problem and fix it once and for all. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts. Remember, AquaGuard.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
All right, Wes Moss, stop mumbling over there. We're back. We're on the air, for heaven's sakes. Let's do this.
What's the market doing with Money Matters, Wes Moss?
What is the market doing with Money Matters, Wes Moss? How are you, Wes?
Remember that I've been trained Pavlovianly not to speak until the train whistle goes.
That
Boom.
You know what? And you have
And you
kept
tempt me constantly.
I'm just testing.
I
It's a
stick
test.
to it. I stick to it.
Wes, life is a test. And so I'm just testing you with those things. Wes Moss, there's one really big story when it comes to finance, and that is that the greatest stock picker in the history of picking stocks. Now, I don't know. Maybe there's some guy in the 1300s or whatever they were doing back then. Maybe he was pretty good at picking out the winners, separating the winners from the losers. But in our kind of system, the greatest picker of stocks, Warren Buffett, 94, has said this is his last year. At the end of the year, he's gone. And now there's another guy who I'm sure you're familiar with and other people are familiar with. But is that the most thankless job in the world? To follow the greatest who's ever done it and then, hey, here's Jim. Let's see how he does.
It's almost like you want an interim because you can't
yeah.
follow. It's like following a great host. No one would ever want to take over for you.
Oh, well,
so you get somebody in. I don't know if they call that a patsy, but you get somebody in who's like sacrificial. Oh, the next guy didn't work out, and then you can really restart.
New England Patriots, Gerard Mayo, 1 year. Bill Belichick leaves, 1 year, then he's gone, and now they got
a word? Is there a term for that? Besides sacrificial Patsy Lamb?
I think that's a good term. That's one to go with. I don't know if there's an official term for it, but it's hard. Hey, sometimes, Brian Johnson followed
Bon Scott.
Bon Scott and AC/DC. They had their biggest album ever.
Sammy Hagar after David Lee Roth.
Yeah, okay, they sold well, but I mean, come on. The best Van Halen is David Lee Roth.
Well, true.
Please.
Look, Abel's been there. Buffett is so well known for his patience. And Greg Abel has been there for a really long time. And we've been talking about him taking over and being the successor for years and years. It was kind of a surprise the way he announced it in a kind of, Jared, you were saying it's kind of a cool way. He just, at the end of a 5-hour Q&A, he kind of slipped in there at the end. He's like, and I'm retiring, and Greg's going to take over. Greg said, I'm humbled.
I listened to a whole podcast about
First
him.
of all, the idea that a 94-year-old man could sit through a 5-hour Q&A says that he could go on for a couple more years if he wanted to.
Cherry Coke.
They were asking him.
Cherry Coke.
Is that his thing?
All
Cherry Coke?
kinds of things, too, were being asked. Like, I mean, they were asking him about his religion. They were asking him about, like, his kids. They were asking about his economics.
Did he play the ukulele?
I did
you
not
notice
see
about
him?
Not during the Q&A.
Okay.
I mean,
you've seen him play the ukulele, right?
Just the folksiest of all folksy guys.
Yeah, apparently nobody has a bad word to say about him who's met him. He seems to be a very good guy.
No,
and like real rich people, he didn't buy the fanciest car or the fanciest boat or the fanciest house. That's real rich people do not flaunt it. And he did not flaunt it.
There's so many different stories I think any investor has around Buffett. And I remember when I was my first year or two as an advisor, and I'm right out of college, And I remember Buffett was big, obviously, 25 years ago. It's not like he was a new entity. And I remember kind of this skepticism of, it's easy for a billionaire to be calm during these market downdrafts. And I was new to it. And Warren Buffett would kind of chuckle and make everybody feel, and at least me in my early naivety, just feel like, well, I'm just a kid. What do I know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that he's a billionaire, but he only drinks cherry Coke and eats at McDonald's. Kind of like, come on, really?
10-year-old car.
I think he's living in the same house from the 70s too.
But then I quickly grew to love him, and I would say that his patience is probably what sets him apart. He's doubled the S&P 500 rate of return. It's almost 20% a year versus, call it 10. It's a rate of return over the million point. I mean, it's hard to even conceive what his rate of return has been. But there is so much that we can learn from him. I don't love that all these stories are making it seem like his obituary. He's just retiring.
Right.
He's still going to be the chairman, and his lessons are going to live on. So I'm excited to talk about some of those because he really he's had a big impact on my
All right, so we'll
life.
do that when we come back. But also, I thought of somebody else. Who's the next guy? Greg somebody? What's it?
Abel.
Tim Cook followed Steve Jobs.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 285 in Clayton County.
All due to that earlier car fire that's been doused. 285 westbound, the Inner Loop, Riverdale Road, exit number 60. Still just a left lane getting by in the end of that on-ramp from Riverdale Road. You're slow back before I-75. Again, you can make your way south of there. Use Forest Parkway as an alternate. Traveling to the northern suburbs, 400 northbound, I'm seeing the brake lights in Sandy Springs from 285, but improving once you get past Abernathy Road and the North Springs MARTA station. How's the ride on I-85 toward Gwinnett County? Kobe Dawkins.
Well, it's very slow. 85 northbound starting just before Chamblee Tucker Road, getting towards Indian Trail Road. And this report is sponsored by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When it's time to replace your windows, make sure you have options and get to choose the energy-efficient window that is right for your home, your style, and your budget. Dave Baker here for the only window company I recommend, Nelson Exteriors. With Nelson, you're in charge. Choose from many top-rated window manufacturers like Anderson and MI, all backed by Nelson's worry-free lifetime labor warranty. For your replacement windows, pick the company that's more picky than you. Google Nelson Exteriors.
It's your money. Get it sooner. All you need is direct deposit with a checking or savings account at Coosa Valley Credit Union. This is Andy Harris, president of Coosa Valley Credit Union. Not only can you get your money sooner, but we believe in kinder banking where you deal with real people in person. So come see us.
Let me paint you a picture. You're standing in the kitchen of your new home, coffee in hand, sunlight pouring in, boxes mostly unpacked. Feels good, right? Now imagine your old home. Oh, it's still there. But instead of stressing about it, you know that Orchard is handling everything. Repairs, showings, upgrades, the works. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and this is not a fantasy. Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy first, move first, breathe first. And while you're living your best unpacked life, they're busy selling your old home for top dollar. Here's the twist. When it sells for more, and most of the time it does, you get that bonus too. That's 2 paydays. Not a gimmick, not a hack, just smart. That's Orchard. Why wait for tomorrow's money when you can have it today and tomorrow? Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL.
How easy is it to save energy and money in seconds? Power down unused devices, swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs, and adjust your thermostat for the season. Get more tips at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Aaron back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio, news sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, no pope is selected after the first vote by Cardinals meeting at the Sistine Chapel. Black smoke billows this afternoon, signifying they have not come to a consensus. Reporter Sabina Castelfranco at St. Peter's Square in Rome.
What is needed for a pope to be elected is a two-thirds majority. And that two-thirds majority is not easy with so many cardinals. You need 89 votes.
The next vote comes tomorrow morning. The conclave is still a very secretive process despite a hit movie about it.
Yes, there might be some drama, as there was in the Oscar-winning film.
We'll never find a candidate who doesn't have any kind of black mark against them.
But Emory University's interim director of Catholic Studies, Dr. Susan Reynolds, says the movie did get some details wrong.
The one thing that the movie, I think, overplays is the role of communication with the outside world during the conclave itself. It really is sealed off.
Reynolds says she would be surprised if there's no consensus among the Cardinals by this weekend. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
71 degrees in Atlanta, mostly cloudy tonight. Do we see more rain tomorrow? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. 2 known gang members faced charges in a shooting in Forest Park last month that left 2 people dead at a motorcycle gathering.
Investigators say it was a territorial dispute between a pair of motorcycle gangs that led to the shooting on Jones Road. Forest Park Police Chief Brandon Criss says one suspect, Donnell McKnight, is in custody, but the other, Nigel Blackwood, is on the run.
We ask the public, if you do know any additional information regarding this incident, to please give us a call.
The chief says only 2 people are facing charges at this time, but he is expecting more.
All of those individuals that are responsible for what transpired inside of the city of Forest Park will also be brought to justice.
Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A teacher from Metro Atlanta is accused of threatening to shoot students and staff at his school in East Georgia. 22-year-old Mason Garrett of Newton County is a teacher at Warren County High School. He's charged with terroristic threats and acts. The GBI began investigating Garrett at the request of a school resource officer after an incident last month. A verdict is in for 3 former Memphis police officers in the Tyree Nichols murder trial.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty.
They were charged with beating Nichols to death in 2023. The incident was caught on video. The 3 are found not guilty on all charges. They already, though, face the possibility of years in prison after they were convicted of federal charges last year. A Delta flight from San Juan to Atlanta is delayed because of an unruly passenger. Flight 1946 returned to the gate, and the passenger was taken off the plane. The flight arrived in Atlanta after 10 o'clock last night. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines says it has zero tolerance for unruly behavior. Unruly passengers can be fined up to $37,000 by the FAA and could face criminal charges. WSB recall alert, a warning about a popular food item sold in Georgia.
The FDA says more than 4,500 cases of Yellowstone brown sugar molasses baked beans made by Vietti Food Group could contain undeclared soy. This could pose a big risk to anyone with a soy allergy or sensitivity. That recall applies to 15-ounce cans with a best if used by date of February 17, 2028. The impacted product was sold across 23 states. Anyone who purchased it can return it to the store for a refund. No illnesses or reactions have been reported. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A new survey from the Emory Center for Child Health Policy reveals access to quality education is the biggest worry for parents in Georgia, but it is far from the only concern. The survey's lead author, Dr. Stephen Patrick, says each issue is linked to the next.
All of the issues that we see are intertwined here, whether that's social media, bullying, gun violence, anxiety, and mental health diagnoses. They all sort of overlap and paint a picture of what families are going through in Georgia.
The vast majority of parents support vaccinations, access to free meals in schools, and some limits on gun access. On Wall Street today, after the Fed decides to leave interest rates unchanged, the Dow finishes the day up almost 285 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are also up. or the day. It is now 4:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Travel advisory continues down by the airport with this car fire cleanup. Tow truck now on scene. 285 westbound, the Inner Loop Riverdale Road, exit 60. Just 2 left lanes are getting by this, and it has stacked up the ride back before I-75. You can use Forest Parkway south of I-285 as an alternate. Elsewhere on the perimeter, 285 east and southbound, the Inner Loop into DeKalb County stacks in right around Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, and it stays slow down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway in Clarkston. 285 westbound, the outer loop filling up from Chamblee-Dunwoody over to Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. Brake lights find you again heading southbound from I-75 in Cobb down to I-20, the West Freeway. It's been plenty slow through downtown, Kobe Dawkins.
75-85 northbound, you're stacked and packed in, starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. 85 south, those brake lights begin at the Georgia 400 merge, and 75 south, delays start before Howell Mill Road, both getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy for the rest of this evening, staying cool. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, warming up to the upper 70s to low 80s. Watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms late tomorrow night into early Friday morning.
70 in Stockbridge, 66 in Decula, and 69 in Cartersville. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual Imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
EMC Security. Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95. EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Car prices are expected to rise this summer. Do you wait or buy now? At Butler Lexus South Atlanta, there's no guesswork, just peace of mind. All in-stock Lexus vehicles are price locked, guaranteed not to go up. Visit Butler Lexus of South Atlanta or call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Experience the standard of amazing.
A big truck ruined your car and your career. Now the trucking company thinks they're going to bully you into a bad offer.
Don't get tricked, twisted, and trapped into a terrible settlement. Call me first.
Call attorney John Boy and Associates now.
All right, Wes Moss. Warren Buffett is not dead.
Nope.
He's not.
Alive and well.
He's just
As
retiring.
far as we know.
He's simply retiring. But you wanted to take this opportunity. Now, are these life lessons or all about money?
I think
from Warren Buffett.
They're a little of both because investing is part financial and math and statistics and part emotional and behavioral.
Mm-hmm.
And to deny that side of it is just to be blind.
Sure.
So Buffett has always done a really good job of marrying the two together. Like, for example, his first of 10, I could probably do 100 of these, but the first one.
Yeah, we have till 7.
Yeah.
Well, he got the glasses out, so you know he's serious. Wes, put the glasses on.
It's a Warren Buffett marathon.
What?
Call in with your donations.
I printed this out in a 12 font. I need 16 without my glasses.
Ah, you look very official with the glasses on there.
But so number one, so let me just go. Let me look at these. So one, I like be patient but act decisively when opportunity strikes. Two.
Now hold on, let's stop there for a second. Oh. Be patient, but strike when opportunity. How do you know? See, my thing is the reason I've always put this in the hands of like not blind, but do this risk level and not fall is because I don't know. like I tried to pick stocks for a little bit in the late 90s when everybody was starting to do it and you started to be able to do it at home. And I picked a couple of things and I was thinking, oh, this can't live because this and that. But I remember one about the people who paid all the paychecks. It wasn't paychecks, but it was a thing where electronically they paid all your bills. PayMyBills.com. And I thought, oh, they'll go to businesses. And it just kind of went nowhere. And I thought to myself, I can never know how stable a company is. I might be able to look at what their idea is, but I don't know if the CEO is having an affair with the secretary and it's going to bring everything. You know what I mean? The human element.
It is not, investing is not about picking stocks. Investing is about participating in markets. And there's a huge difference. We grow up thinking, I've got it. I mean, Warren Buffett, even when you think about Buffett, you think, well, he picked Coca-Cola 30 years ago and American Express, and his dividends today from just those companies are more than he even paid for it to begin with. So the lure of investing, the lure you in and the folklore of investing is about stocks. But if you look at what Buffett has done, it's really about participating in markets. The diversification he has is tremendous. I mean, he owns Japanese trading houses out of Tokyo. He owns a bunch of the well-known companies that are consumer product oriented. I mean, it's widely known he owns Apple and Coca-Cola,
Took him a long time
American
to get there.
Express.
He was very kind of anti-tech for many years, wasn't he? And then he finally...
Yeah, he was. He really was.
But that's being patient, right?
And then he got to be friends with Bill Gates, and I think he warmed up to the utility, not just the flashiness of technology, and just it's not a whimsical thing. It's the foundation, as a railroad would have been 100 years ago. It's that important. We cannot run our society without it. So he kind of he started participating. So it's about participating in markets. And if you look at Berkshire, it's really become a big fund. It's a conglomerate. There's hundreds of companies. Some of them are private that you don't see a stock ticker for. And then many of the ones we know that one of the companies he's bought, those are the big public companies. But once he buys a company and he decides on it, then he just participates for the most part. Yes, once in a while. Once in a blue moon, you will hear that he sold something. But most of the time, he's found great businesses, not stocks, businesses, and whether they're private or public, and he has owned them for long periods of time. And part of the reason that he has this tremendous and almost unheard of rate of return over time is that there's very few, if any, people that have ever done this with a track record for that long.
Yeah.
So he's just participated. And
when you say participate, do you mean
begin investing
right,
and never stop investing?
But let me ask a question. Did at some point when he became the Warren Buffett that we know him as, does he bring such gravitas when he buys something that he would have more of an ability to participate than I would, in the sense that he could walk into a boardroom and say, my recommendation is you need to kind of go in this direction and have a little bit of like this, not the way BlackRock does it. Because BlackRock
he's not an activist.
Okay.
And he's not a private equity guy.
Okay.
He owns some private companies, but he has always for years talked about understanding the people that are running these companies. He tells the story about the guy who started Enterprise Rent-A-Car and why he's such a great manager and how he built that business, and he participated in that business. And I don't know if it was, he tried to buy it and he wouldn't sell it to him, but he's looking for management teams that work like clockwork, and that they will be here in 10 years and they should be bigger in 10 years. And that is his philosophy. And it takes tremendous patience to do that. And it runs counter to the world we live in that is about today. It's about tariffs today and stock prices today, and multiples will compress because we're less confident in companies. And it sounds almost cavalier. That's why I think it takes a minute to figure him out. He'll say, well, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Well, how can you not care?
Right. He cares.
Easy for you to say billionaire.
Right.
And that's what, as a young investor, I was confused at how he could be almost so concise about saying, look, I know this is a good business and I'm just going to keep it. And something really dramatic has to happen for me to ever sell it. And that runs counter to the society and the world that we live in. And
he's not distracted by shiny objects. He's not a trend or a thing. He's like, well, if that trend lasts another 10 years, I'll take a look at it, kind of thing.
Only if it's a permanent part of the economy, in his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He wants permanent capital. He wants nothing to do with trends. He invests in long-term stability. So I think it's appropriate to have his number one of 10 on this list is patience. And there have been times when he is known decisively. There's a story that he bought this again, I don't know how many decades ago, but it was a company that he looked at. It had $6 million, or it had $2 million in earnings. So it was making $2 million a year. It had $2 million in real estate, and it had $2 million sitting in cash, and it was on sale for $6 million. And he patient. And when he saw that, he said, that is a buy, and he bought it that day.
Right.
When he figured it out. So, and today it's just at a bigger scale. I mean, it's, I don't know, 300, they get dividends almost every day, if you think about it. So their cash just keeps building up. Now they have something like $300 billion in cash.
That rivals Apple, right?
But I look at it almost as the conglomerate size. That means about a third of that whole company is sitting there in cash.
Gotcha.
But the one thing he has said over the years is it is harder to move the meter when you have the scale that he has. If you go back and look at his rates of return, some of those years he had 100% rates of return, but he had a few stocks and they were small companies and they jumped really quickly. He'll tell you that can't really happen at their size again. And that's why it's so hard for them to deploy cash, because they don't want to buy something. I mean, if they bought a $10 million company, it just would never do anything for their returns.
Right.
It's too small relative to essentially $1 trillion market cap company. So the bigger they've gotten, the harder it has been to find companies that are big enough and growing fast enough to move the meter. And that's part of the reason he has so much cash.
And so the idea of the diversification and being patient is all of these things from time to time, 2 go down, 3 go up, right? Then for a little while, and then the other. So some are going to go down for a while, right?
Absolutely.
And you can't freak out. But if you diversify enough, others will be going up while this is going down, and that inverse might happen a few years down the line. But you got not panic, basically is. And you could say, well, that's easy as a billionaire, and that does make some sense. But you could probably do it at a smaller scale, just as wisdom, right? You could apply that wisdom to starting out at a smaller scale.
The same thing that Buffett does today, somebody with $100,000 can do today,
right?
Or $1 million or $10 million.
Well, it's wisdom, right? It's wisdom.
That's what it is.
Alex Williams, speaking of wisdom, when it comes to traffic, my guy is the Warren Buffett of traffic reporters. Alex Williams says it's a bumper-to-bumper ride on 285 on the south side.
That's a lot of pressure, but we'll try to live up to it here, Eric. We're making some progress with this bumper-to-bumper ride. That is, they are picking up the cones. The car fire's been doused and towed away in Clayton County. 285 westbound, the Interloop Riverdale Road exit 60. All lanes are about to open back up, but it's going to take some time for that ride to improve, stretching almost back to Jonesboro Road. Forest Parkway will get you around that. It's also impacting the 75 north and south ramps to I-285 westbound, the Interloop down there in Clayton County. Elsewhere, 75 northbound up into Cobb County, on and off the brakes through Marietta up into Kennesaw. 85 northbound, we told you about that. It's slow from Chamblee Tucker for the ride up into Norcross. Check in the ride on I-20 west of town. It's Kobe Dawkins.
And 20 westbound, seeing you on and off the brakes, leaving I-285, getting into Douglas County. And speaking of Douglas County, Thornton Road northbound at Oak Ridge Road. Crash knocks out 2 left lanes, causing delays in each direction. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Are you serious? The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
OMG! Oh my goodness!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 5.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Spring storms can produce flash flooding with heavy rain flowing around your house and into your crawl space. And rainwater trapped in there will provide the perfect breeding ground for mold. Hey, this is Christina Epwords. Mold not only produces that stale, musty smell, but it can also impact the air quality in your home. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping it dry and preventing mold from forming. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
Looking for the perfect engagement ring? At Shane Company, we know this is an exciting time. It can also be overwhelming. Customers say this a lot. Where do I start? How do I choose? At Shane Company, this is where the magic happens. Since 1929, we've been experts at helping customers find the perfect engagement ring. We invite you into the design process, help you pick out the perfect diamond or colorful gemstone, and choose a style that speaks to you. Come see us in store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
All right. Wes Moss we're trying to go through and pass along some of Warren Buffett's wisdom as he...
I just bought a ticket to Vegas. I'm learning from this Warren Buffett conversation.
Yes, you're gonna put it all in one.
Put it all
color?
in black.
Okay, there you go.
Ready to go. All
That's
my
what
life
he's
savings.
learning.
That's what I've learned so far.
That's what he's learning from Warren.
That's right. Be decisive. Make the decision. All on black. And
there
you're
you
done.
go. There you go. Be decisive. No, I now get what he means by that, which is be patient and then be decisive. And once you make up your mind, you gotta go and do it. You can't. Oh, should I? Do your homework. Right?
And go.
Right. And that, that applies, this kind of wisdom applies to other things in life, obviously, than just, becoming a Wall Street baron.
I mean, think about this. I mean, if I go through these, don't confuse activity with progress. You could apply that to investing. You can apply it to life, work, right? You could sit there and do lots of activity at any job that isn't moving in the right direction. It doesn't work.
People I find sometimes do that with their kids. I feel like the activities but in reality, you can have a great day with your kid if you're just kind of in the living room just hanging out. You could have some of your best days that way. Now, obviously, you do want to do the activities, but I feel like sometimes I see a lot of parents just like go from here to here to here to here to here to here, and that's great. But a lot of weekend fathers, it's like I'm going to do everything. It's like no, you don't necessarily. It's more about are you connecting? Are you connecting, and are you experiencing, and are you sharing the life together? That's one way. That something that applies to, not just picking stocks, but playing the Wall Street game. I mean, wisdom is wisdom, and there is foundational wisdom that you can then apply to many different areas of life. What else does Warren tell us?
Here's one: the right people matter, and this is in an age that is in a hyper technology age that we live in. We talked a little bit about him and tech. The right people matter more than the right algorithm.
Well, we need that.
And that he would trust the chairman of his insurance companies, Ajit Jain, who's been with him for many, many years. He says that I would trust him over the most sophisticated software, artificial intelligence in the world, and that applies.
Sure.
I
think that's going away, though. I don't think that's going to be in 20 years.
Maybe
the way AI is going, I don't know that people are even going to. I think it still will be true then, but I don't think people will necessarily believe it or follow it then. You stick around until about 5:15?
Yes, please.
All right. Alex Williams has better news on 285 by the airport.
That's right, Eric. The car fire is gone. All lanes are back open. 285 westbound, the Interloop Riverdale Road, exit 60. Now it's all about the recovery for those brake lights that stretch back to Jonesboro Road, Highway 54, exit 50 or exit number 55. You're seeing 75 north and southbound delays. Turn a ramp on to 285 west, but that will start to improve. Stacked up in DeKalb County, 285 southbound, the Interloop east and south, the Interloop from Peachtree Boulevard and Dorville all the way down to Memorial Drive, exit 41 in the DeKalb County area. We also found a crash on I-85 in DeKalb County. Kobe Dawkins.
And it's a right lane crash, 85 northbound right at Chamblee Tucker Road, exit 94, causing delays trying to get to Spaghetti Junction. And those rides don't free up until you get to Indian Trail Road. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
If your basement is showing any problem signs, condensation, wet floors and walls, musty smells, mold, or rot, AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can help before it's too late. Visit aquaguard.net and sign up for a free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at MyLend. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at MyLend are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at MyLend are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. MyLend kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. MyLend specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, MyLend is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's mylend.com. Spelled it MILEND. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. MyLend's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top story, no Pope yet.
If it's any indication, they're going to be very long days ahead.
Reporter Sabina Castelfranco outside the Sistine Chapel today as black smoke appears on day one of the conclave to select the next pope.
The cardinals, after the black smoke that we saw, have now returned to the Santa Marta residence, where most of them are staying. Because there are so many, 133 this time, extra accommodation had to be found very near the Santa Marta residence inside the Vatican.
There will be 2 votes tomorrow morning and 2 more in the afternoon. The Cardinals will keep voting until they reach a 2/3 majority. 71 degrees in Atlanta. More pop-up storms tomorrow. How long do these rain chances continue? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Domestic passengers at the Atlanta airport are dealing with up to 30-minute wait times on this first day of upgraded security.
It now takes a real ID to get through security at the airport if you use a state license or ID. One man who has real ID expects to be delayed by those who don't.
I think we're all going to be affected by it today.
TSA says 80% of travelers have real ID and those who don't are ready with something else.
Luckily, I am someone who already has a passport, and so I learned that I can just use that.
Even without proper ID, you can travel by air, but it'll mean time-consuming extra screening. At Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A handful of people are arrested in Atlanta after a nationwide FBI sting targeting child sex abuse.
The FBI says 205 people from across the country have been arrested and 115 children have been rescued in Operation Restore Justice. 9 of those facing charges are from Georgia, Special Agent Paul Brown.
And they're facing charges ranging from possession of child pornography to distribution of child pornography.
This one-week sting was a joint effort with federal, state, and local partners and coincides with the end of Child Abuse Prevention Month. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
A father and son face additional charges in a child molestation case in Hall County. Sheriff's Office spokesperson B.J. Williams says the men were rearrested this week.
The victim revealed that there were 2 other victims, both of them juvenile females.
60-year-old Raimundo Castillo and 30-year-old Edgar Razzo are accused of performing lewd acts on girls under the age of 16. The case dates back a decade. The driver behind the fatal accident that inspired Addie's Law appears briefly today in a Metro Atlanta courtroom. Here's a report all new at 5 o'clock.
Vehicular homicide defendant Kaylee Andre sat quietly weeping in a Henry County courtroom just 1 row behind the grieving family of Adeline Pierce. The 8-year-old died in February 2024 after Georgia State troopers say Andre ran a school bus's stop sign and hit the girl as she walked to the bus. Lawyers on both sides reveal that Andre is expected to enter a non-negotiated plea deal in 2 weeks. That involves her pleading guilty and leaving her sentencing entirely at the mercy of the judge. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
New this hour, 2 New York women are sentenced in Cherokee County in a multi-state organized retail crime scam.
Melissa Holland and Ebony Washington, they went across the country. There was 21 states total and committed 187 incidents of fraudulently returning Apple AirPods.
Cherokee County Assistant District Attorney Rachel Murphy says the 2 women stole over $140,000 in merchandise from Walmart and Target stores. They paid cash for the AirPods and resealed them in boxes that appeared unopened. Each gets a decade in prison. Now, WSB Money Update. The Federal Reserve decides not to change interest rates today. Money reporter Kelly O'Grady says it means rates will remain high for a while longer.
The consumer is sort of the loser in the short run because we want to be able to go out and buy a house and we want those mortgage rates to come down.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says if large increases in tariffs remain in place, they could lead to an economic growth slowdown. On Wall Street, stocks finished the day higher. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, it's triple team traffic. It begins with Alex Williams.
Had a crash, 85 northbound Chamblee Tucker, exit 94. That's gone, so looking good there. Once you get past there, the brake lights find you right at 285 Spaghetti Junction. For the ride up into Norcross, secondary sluggish slow zone between Duluth and Suwanee, heading up to the 85-985 split. 75 northbound in Cobb County, a little slow from North Marietta Parkway up to Chastain Road. And seeing some brake lights, 575 northbound from Bells Ferry up to Highway 92 in Woodstock. How are things looking on Georgia 400, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's a little slow. Georgia 400 northbound as you leave I-285, getting towards North Ridge Road. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of this evening, staying cool. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, high 79. Watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms late in the evening through early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, mostly cloudy, high 76. Saturday, mostly cloudy, morning low 60, afternoon high 65. Sunday, mostly cloudy, morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime highs in the low 70s.
64 in Milton, 69 in Powder Springs, and 70 in McDonough. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Oh, my. Here it is. Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Right, Caiaccio? That's right. Hour 3. What is hour?
I can't see him.
Hour 3. Hour 3 is always the 5 o'clock hour. And that means it's time for this hour's keyword in the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. This hour's keyword is concert. C-O-N-C-E-R-T. Concert.
I like that emphasis on there.
Concert.
Can you use that in a sentence?
I got a flat tire on the way to the concert.
There it is. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash for your chance to win. Again, that keyword is
concert.
Concert. C-O-N-C-E-R-T. Wes Moss, before we talk to you a little bit more, why don't we get this out of the way? How do people get more Wes Moss?
We're just going to get it out of
No. Let's get this part, because we don't want to. I don't want to run out of time at the end, and then people wouldn't know how to get in touch with you.
No,
Wes is in a little bit of a mood today. I like it.
We got feisty Wes today.
Feisty Wes Moss.
It is.
You still doing that Money Matters show?
Yes. Money Matters 9 to 11. And the Retire Sooner podcast.
9 to 11 every day of the week, or is there a particular day?
This Money Matters is Sunday, 9 to 11, here on WSB Radio. Podcast is, of course, just wherever you're podcasting. And you can find me and our team and send questions to us, and we're happy to help at any point at yourwealth.com. That's Y-O-U-R, yourwealth.com.
And you especially are an expert in retiring happy.
Nope, you can't say the word expert.
Well, you are
Can't say the word expert.
You are very knowledgeable. You are very knowledgeable.
I've been doing it for a long time.
Yes, you have. You have a lot of experience, is what I meant to say, at helping people retire happy. Now, something else did happen today. Jerome Powell, who, the president, was starting to act like he was going to fire this guy, and then the markets tanked, and he said, I'm absolutely not going to fire him. He wants Powell to drop interest rates. A lot of economists think that would be the worst thing you can do. And he didn't. He kept it the same. Now, the fear that he has and other economists have is stagflation, right? Or
he mentioned that today, and that is the worry around tariffs. In fact, one of the reporters today did ask him about the whole firing saga, and he just said, "I've said as much as I'm going to say about that." Next question.
Yeah, you know what? You need to be a little bit boring in that he does a good job of not making news.
He really does.
Yeah.
I think he does a very good job. So here's the worry: the Fed has these two mandates. They want to keep inflation at a steady pace. They wanted it right around 2%. That's their target, so it can float around that level. They don't want it to be ultra high, and they don't want zero inflation. They want 2%. And they want maximum employment, so they want the unemployment rate to stay in the call it where we are today, which is really low and really good. It's at 4.2% today.
4.2, and that's a good number, right?
Right. So what you don't want is an economy where you have high inflation, and typically if you're getting inflation, there's got usually some economic activity around it. If you think back with COVID, you can say prices rose. If I had to pick two of the big things, one, supply chain. So you didn't have enough things, so people bid up the few things that got to the stores. That's one reason you can get inflation. The other reason is just a dumping of excess money and more money sloshing around in people's pockets.
We got both at the same time.
Not knowing what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so they start spending it and bidding everything up, and wages, that can happen with wages too. So what you don't want is an economy where you have high inflation and then low growth, because typically low growth would reduce demand. So if the economy's bad, then Jared and I spend a little bit less money. So it's actually disinflationary to some extent. What you don't want is high inflation, prices going up, and the economy not doing well. So you don't want unemployment going up and inflation. That doesn't make sense. That's called stagflation. And the worry here is that could happen, but the Fed continues to they're very measured about the future. And they say, look, we don't see it right now. Consumer expectations are for inflation, but we're not seeing inflation in the numbers. I mean, the CPI is.
Yeah, actually the numbers have been decent, right?
Yeah, it's still right around 2.5%. That's pretty low, and unemployment's low. So we haven't had it yet, but they did say we don't know the impact of what the tariffs will be just yet.
I think what the president needs to understand is,
and by the way, we're not moving rates.
Yeah,
so they stayed put.
His style is meant to be chaotic. So a Fed chairman is going to be looking for stability wherever they can find it. The numbers still look pretty good. I think the worry now is we've seen like the ports, Los Angeles, there's less coming in. So this stuff hasn't made its way really through the economy yet. And it might be another big scare that doesn't, come out. Maybe he'll drop a lot of tariffs next week or something like that. But this is the fear now, right? We definitely have less goods arriving in ports in L.A., and places like that. I imagine New York too. But I was reading LA. I imagine it's East Coast as well as West Coast. But I was reading about the West Coast because obviously that's where the Asian, China, all that stuff comes from. So that looks to have dropped, and those goods have not made their way through the economy yet. So that's the worry, is that we're going to get in that situation where there's less goods and still demand.
Ironically, and this is not. Ironically, if you look at the equation for GDP, and we just had essentially our first print for the first quarter was that we had flat GDP or ever so slightly negative.
Gross domestic product.
Ironically, the formula penalizes a country for being a net importer. So because we're buying way more stuff from overseas, so the formula is consumer spending, government spending, and business investment plus net exports. And one of the big reasons we saw a drop in GDP was that we had a lot of this pull forward. Hey, we were like, wait a minute, let's get all this. I mean, the story of Apple flying, a couple 747s full of iPhones.
Yeah. Coca-Cola with the aluminum cans, they got a whole bunch before these tariffs came down.
In fact, the first ships arriving on the West Coast with the 125% tariffs are just arriving
That's
today.
what I just said.
Yeah.
Right. So so ironically, you saw this giant dip in GDP because we had this big pull forward importing. Well, let's get all these goods. Now what happens? Now, if we're going to import less, it automatically helps that GDP number.
Right.
Now, that's in a vacuum. It of course could go the other way because we could have just not enough this is the supply and demand interaction when it comes to commerce. If you don't have anything on the shelves, even though people can afford them, wait a minute, you reduce commerce.
Yeah.
So these
are the warning
in a
signs.
vacuum.
These are the warning signs, and there are warning signs. I mean, for instance, very soon, how early do retailers start ordering? How many winter coats they're going to need, or things like we'll know that the next couple of months, right? Are they ordering less than they would have or used to because they're figuring we're not going to spend it, we're not going to be able to sell as much because people are going to wear last year's coat because this year's coat is going to cost too much. Little things like that. You can get an eye on what's coming down the line if there isn't something else that happens along the way, right?
Well, and that's part of the soft data that you get. The hard data is the actual PCE, or what people are paying for goods. We can measure, are people paying more? And then CPI is measuring a basket. But then there's all these soft data, which are readings when the Commerce Department or the BLS goes out and asks people, hey, do you think inflation will be up? And those numbers are pretty high right now. So the consumers feel, and part of it is a news cycle because you can't open up any website without reading about tariffs. The expectation is that prices are going up. That's the consumer thinking that will happen. It is still yet to be seen.
And also, like the consumer, the consumer is still spending, right?
Broadly.
At this point, the consumer is still spending pretty well. And we've talked about this before. Are they spending money they have, or are they doing this on lines of credit? Or
if you're doing a wedding, they're clearly.
Oh yeah, we saw that story in the Wall Street Journal. What did it say? Like 60% of couples that are broke after their wedding.
Average cost of a wedding is now $30,000.
That is absurd. Jeez. I'm sorry. If you spend now, if your parents are just wildly wealthy and it means nothing to them, that $30,000. But if you could buy a plot of land with
down payment on a home.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, I mean, ladies, I know you dreamed of it your whole life, but also you probably dreamed of not being broke the first 10 years that you're together.
There's a lot of pressure, and the places are so expensive once they know it's a wedding.
Yeah.
Like you could book a venue for $5,000 if it's just like a reunion with your family, but once it's a wedding, now it's $20,000.
Yeah, can't use the W word. Don't use the W word.
You cannot, but you have to. But they know it. They're going to tell you.
They can
is
tell.
This a wedding? No.
Basically, it's buying candy in a movie theater, right? You're stuck. You're there.
Right.
So you're going to buy it. If you want Raisinets, what are you going to do? Leave the theater and go next door and buy Raisinets?
The candy in those theaters is pretty good, though.
Yes.
There's something extra good about it.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When you spend
$40
on a box of Raisinets.
These are good goobers.
That better taste good.
Big Sour Patch.
Wes Moss, it's always great to see you.
Great to see you guys.
You look wonderful as usual. Everything going well with the lacrosse? We
going, you know what? We made a run, and these young team. We had a great team this year, and we made a great run. And we just lost in sudden death overtime. So.
Oh well, look. Hey, there's next.
It was a fun run.
Are you coaching?
This team, no. This is one of my.
Did you shame
kids.
your son for losing?
No, the boy. They were.
Because how else is he
going to learn?
Of
tears. There were tears.
The Moss family is full of winners.
That's very good.
And then did you shame him for crying? Come on.
Do your
teaching
job
him
as
to be a man. Men are forged.
She's got 2 kids are out of control. Don't listen to her. Alex Williams. Hey.
You don't know.
Hey, what are you, Michael Rooker all of a sudden?
Hey, wait, Jay, what you said her?
Alex Williams is watching the brake light battle through downtown.
A slow one this afternoon, about 25 minutes heading southbound from the 85-400 merge, making your way south of I-20, northbound stacked in from Highway 166 Langford Parkway. But those delays improve once you pass Peachtree Pine Street, passing the Varsity going under North Avenue. And we just found a crash in Buckhead. It's on Peachtree Road, southbound at West Wesley Road. It's in the right lane, slow in the ride back to West Paces Ferry Road. Watching the ride on the West Freeway, it's Kobe Dawkins.
And 20 westbound seeing you sluggish leaving the perimeter. I-285 getting into Douglas County past Lee Road. And some better news in Douglas County. Thornton Road northbound at Oak Ridge Road. Crash has cleared, so those delays should start to improve. And this report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Build a self-care routine at Whole Foods Market. Save 33% on body care and candles with Prime through May 13th. While supplies last, shop in store or online, terms apply. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
133 cardinal electors, the most host of any conclave.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide and Catholics here in Atlanta?
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
For breaking news, the details, and what it all means to you, stay with 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Scott Slade here from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
We were ready to sell, but I got so overwhelmed with everything that needed to be done. Accepting the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate shortened my to-do list.
Hi, this is Mark Spain. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home stress-free and receive the strongest cash offer in the industry. With our guaranteed offer, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress.
And the value of getting all of my time back that I would have spent on home repairs, priceless.
Go to markspain.com to receive a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it squeaking and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day repair service. Experienced technicians have been servicing homeowners in Atlanta since 1935. That's 90 years. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta can handle all your garage door and opener needs. For same-day repair service, schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Springtime means even more time spent outside. Festivals, concerts, ball games, but it also means more road construction. It's Smiler Mark McKay. Road work means new traffic patterns, closures, sign confusion, and add a distracted driver, you'll find yourself in a wreck. If someone crashes into you, you need the strong arm, John Foy & Associates. They'll protect your rights and your wallet against the big insurance companies. John Foy will treat you with respect and compassion, all with zero upfront cost. Call for your free case evaluation, johnfoy.com.
All right, producer.
I know, I got to do the annoying stuff
That's
sometimes.
Always telling me what to do.
I just want to give people money.
All right.
It's
for
a nice
chance
thing
for
to do.
$1,000, I will repeat the word of the hour.
$1,000 is a lot to normal people like me. I know you sit on your high perch.
Normal. You call yourself normal?
Yeah. I'm a normal person.
What you don't know is
I wish I could win $1,000.
I've had a spy cam in your house for a few months. You're anything but normal. This hour's keyword, to repeat, is concert. CONCERT. Go to the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash for your chance to win. One more time. What, I got to hold your hand and walk you to the bank? Okay. That keyword is concert. CONCERT. Look who's here. Let's do this.
It's time for Bill Crane's Brain Drain.
Bill Crane. You look awesome.
Why, thank you.
Oh, I mean, you don't sound awesome because you got to turn your mic on. But other than that, or get close to it.
Well,
did it not
was
work?
on the wrong microphone.
Only
been doing this for 25 years.
So it was on. You were just on the wrong microphone. Okay.
I got you. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you to the handsomest producer in all of producery.
You look great.
Thank you.
And thankfully, you live in a time where, as an analyst of politics, there are times with Trump. I mean, Monday and Tuesday, he was kind of silent for about a week or so, not really with the new things. And then Monday it was like 7 things. So then Tuesday it was like 7 things.
A lot of things.
A lot of things going on. A lot of things?
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
A lot of beautiful things.
Beautiful things, right?
Bad things today
All
with
right.
power.
What do we start with here?
All right, I think we got to
Jared?
start with the story from the Hill here because GOP senators are fearing Marjorie Taylor Greene could cost them the Georgia Senate race.
Seems like she's going to win the primary hands down.
Why?
I do not think she wins it hands down, and I'm not dissing her because I disagree with her, though I do disagree.
I think you are dissing me.
I do have your gutters on my home, Marjorie. I have Taylor Construction gutters with the gutter shields on my home, so I did support you in that respect.
Okay.
Didn't she
What
tell
else? I'm
Shelley
waiting.
Winter the other night that she was looking at governor, not Senate?
I think that she did.
She didn't directly say that, but there was a hint of
I like to have a little mystery.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's good. A little conflict.
Keep
All
it
right.
in the
You
boudoir.
like it. I know you do.
Well, you
Like
could
a yoga
apply,
class.
and by the way, you could apply because they're both statewide offices, so you could
The
apply
good
this.
news
to,
is that if she runs for either, she can't seek re-election to her house.
Oh, okay. Now,
Hey,
see, that
what
seems.
are you trying to say?
Marjorie, I think
I
that
don't like this guy.
was an editorial commentary. I think right there.
I think did you bring him on just to diss me?
No, I didn't. I didn't. You know what? I brought you on to
I
diss
got my
him.
eye
Next
on you.
Okay.
I'm watching you.
I know you are. Okay. So, but we could apply the same reasoning
It's
to
bronzer that I have the issue.
any.
That's contour, sir.
All right, you guys are just in a full-fledged cat fight now. So, wouldn't the same thinking? It's a statewide office, senator, governor. Really, I assume what you just said. If she wasn't going to be able to, if you don't give her a slam dunk to win a primary in the Senate, would you say the same thing about governor?
Yes, because she has a national following, a national ability to raise money. But even in her own district, she's not a 70-30 win Republican. And that is the most Republican district in the state.
Oh, I didn't know that. What did she win by?
I think it was in the 60s.
Okay.
It's still
high, but not.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there are people uncomfortable with certain aspects of her leadership. She's very loyal to the president. Check for the MAGA crowd. They will support her. Check. That's 35%, maybe 40% in a GOP primary. To win outright, you need 50% plus a vote.
Do you think it helps her? We got to run real fast here, but
Sure.
do you think that it helps her that she did show a little pushback to the administration? With
Yeah,
that,
I think it does. But there are other people we haven't been talked about yet. We will after the break, like Doug Collins, who also has a tie to the president, defended him in the first impeachment hearing.
All right, Alex Williams is watching the brake light battle through downtown.
Yeah, right now we're seeing the brake lights through downtown, starting southbound at the 85-400 merge for the ride down to I-20. Northbound slows, Highway 166 up into Midtown. 285 westbound, the outer loop on the north side. You jam in right around Ashford, Dunwoody Road for the ride over to I-75 in Cobb County. Then it stays sluggish both ways on 285 on the west side between I-20 and the Smyrna Vinings area. How is the inner loop into Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 285 eastbound, those delays start at Georgia 400, getting to Spaghetti Junction, I-85, and 285 southbound, still the inner loop, doesn't free up until you get into Clarkston towards Highway 78. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a Reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home. EMC Security.
Meet EMC Security's hero of the home.
After
some break-ins in my neighborhood, it got me thinking about my family's security. A friend recommended EMC Security, so I called them. Now I have peace of mind that my family is safe without having to sign a long-term contract.
Way to go, Sarah. Be the hero of your home with no contracts, fast and reliable monitoring, and rates as low as $16.95.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top story, black smoke appears over the Sistine Chapel today, which means no Pope yet.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. Locked in the Sistine Chapel. Who will emerge as the next pope? Among perceived frontrunners, Vatican number 2, Cardinal Parolin. CBS Papal contributor John Allen.
Cardinal Parolin was born in northern Italy. He has spent virtually his entire adult life as part of the Vatican's diplomatic corps.
But it's generally acknowledged lacking charisma, unlike Cardinal Tagle of the Philippines, says author and Jesuit priest Thomas Rees.
He's very pastoral. The people love him. He's a social media meme.
It may take several rounds for this diverse and divided conclave to choose.
The Cardinals have 2 votes scheduled tomorrow morning and 2 more in the afternoon. They will keep voting until there's a 2/3 majority. 71 degrees in Atlanta. Do we see more rain tomorrow? And will this rainy trend continue into the weekend? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. 2 known gang members are arrested in a double murder at a motorcycle gathering in Forest Park.
Investigators say it was a territorial dispute between 2 motorcycle gangs that led to the April 27th shooting where 2 people were killed. Forest Park Police Chief Brandon Criss says one of the suspects, Donnell McKnight, is in custody, but the other, Nigel Blackwood, is still on the run.
I have a great detective division. I have a great police department, and we will work tirelessly to bring any and all of those who commit crimes in our city to justice.
He's urging anyone with information in this case to call police. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Several arrests are made in Georgia as the FBI concludes a nationwide investigation into child sex abuse.
I think this operation shows the FBI's commitment to protecting children, our most vulnerable members of society, from those who prey on them.
FBI Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown says the Atlanta field office charges 9 people in Georgia as part of the operation, including 5 in Atlanta. More than 200 people are arrested nationwide and 115 children are rescued. 3 former Memphis police officers are found not guilty on state murder charges in the fatal beating of Tyree Nichols after he ran from a traffic stop in 2023. The jury reaches its decision after over 8 hours of deliberations. The 3 defendants still face the prospect of years in prison after they were convicted of some federal charges last year. Now, WSB Money Update. The Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. CBS Money reporter Jill Schlesinger says the Fed is keeping its eye on tariffs.
Clearly, the Fed is seeking direction as to what impact the tariffs will have on the economy.
It is the third time this year the central bank has held rates steady as it presses forward with efforts to combat inflation. Wall Street's reaction to the Fed news is positive. The Dow gains almost 285 points today. The S&P up 24. The Nasdaq jumps 48 points on the day. The tariffs are already impacting some car prices.
Ford Motors has already raised the sticker prices on new vehicles that it makes in Mexico but sells here in the U.S., including the Bronco Sport SUV, the Maverick small-size pickup truck, and the electric engine Mustang Mach-E by as much as $2,000 each. Now, the automaker says the vehicles that are currently on dealer lots are not affected by this price hike, but all new ones and ones being assembled right now will be. That is the result of the Trump tariffs on imported autos and auto parts. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby for 95.5 WSB.
WSB recall alert is for popular food sold in Georgia.
The FDA says just over 4,500 cases of 15-ounce Yellowstone brown sugar molasses baked beans from Vietti Food Group could contain undeclared soy. The department says this could lead to serious or life-threatening allergic reactions in anyone who has a soy allergy or sensitivity. The recall specifically applies to cans that have a best of use by date of February 17th, 2028. They urge anyone who's purchased the impacted product to return it to the store for a refund. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 5:34. This news sponsored by Findlay Roofing. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Checking the ride to the northern suburbs, 85 northbound. Not terrible this afternoon. Just moderate volume today from Chamblee Tucker into Cab up toward Indian Trail Road in Norcross, and a few more brake lights up to 985 in Swanee, 316 eastbound, tapping the brake pedal as you leave I-85 out into Lawrenceville. 400 northbound, toughest part of that ride's in Sandy Springs from 285 up to the North Springs MARTA station. Then a little slow again in Alpharetta as you clear Windward Parkway. 75 northbound, you're also seeing some delays from the South Marietta Parkway exit 263 up to Barrett Parkway exit 269 in Kennesaw. How are things looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
It's slow. 75-85 northbound, heavy volume starting at Langford Parkway getting past Spring Street. Southbound ride slow as well. Brake lights begin before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. And also dealing with a crash in Buckhead, Peachtree Road southbound at East-West Wesley Road. That crash is knocking out one right lane, causing delays back to West Paces Ferry Road. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of this evening, staying cool. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, high 79. Watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms late in the evening through early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, mostly cloudy, high 76. Saturday, mostly cloudy, morning low 60, afternoon high 65. Sunday, mostly cloudy, morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime highs in the low 70s.
67 in Tucker, 75 in Peachtree City, 62 in Canton. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Our weather is so unpredictable. Dry for days, then we get drenched with rain and storms. Then we go from soaking wet to arid dry, extreme heat to bitter cold, and your roof takes all that abuse. Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Admit it, you have no idea how your roof is doing, right? It's okay. Let me help. There are signs you can look for. Inside your house, look for wet spots, water streaks, or dripping water on the ceiling, drywall, chimney area, or up in the attic. If that wet spot is now a dry stain, it's still a problem. Outside your home, check your roof for streaks and stains, loss of color, or granules in your downspouts, gutters, or scattered on the ground. If you find any of these things, think of Findlay first. They're the perfect match for any roofing issues. They are the extra effort experts that have installed over 65,000 roofs locally. Plus, Findlay offers 0% financing. Get started with a free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com.
Roof. Mega firms send a paralegal. Steelhorse sends a lawyer. SteelhorseLaw.com.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Spring is the time of year when everything blooms, including love. If you're thinking about proposing this spring, visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. They can educate you in the engagement ring process and help you pick that perfect ring for your perfect partner. Tara Fine Jewelry in Beaufort, just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia, but miles apart in service and selection. Specializing in love since 1985. Tara Fine Jewelry.
All right. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the possibility of Marjorie Taylor Greene running for the Senate seat, and then it turned into, well, what if she runs for the governor here in
Right,
Georgia?
right. And I think we've exhausted it. Do you have anything more to...
What if I run for president?
Okay, well, she wants to... You know,
She runs for president.
You
Well,
can,
you could run
You
for
don't know.
president. It all has the same
I know.
result. You get out of
You
Congress.
don't need to tell me that
Yeah,
Well, I
okay.
appreciate that.
because I already know. Thank
She
you.
already knew that. She just... Yes?
That's why I said it the first time.
I understand that.
The
It's very-
tease that Bill left on the table, though, Marjorie, was that he was going to list off some of the people that could run for both of those seats that are not
Well,
being
let's go with...
talked
Let's
about.
go with...
me.
Yeah, against you in the primary.
Lord knows you need
Yeah,
it.
can you not give me a break? You don't talk about people against me. I shouldn't run. I'm not good. Okay.
Are you having a hard day?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed that people like this exist and I can't just run and have a good time and, love
You can
Trump and
run.
whatever.
You
Y'all
can
are
love
just
Trump.
haters.
Go schedule a yoga class. You got till 6 o'clock.
do your mountain
I like to get my energy out through
Yep.
through
You need to do some
not
Pilates.
lacrosse.
Let's work on that vocabulary.
Yes.
What's it called? The
CrossFit.
jerky pull-ups.
CrossFit. Kettlebell.
CrossFit.
There
Thank
you go.
you. I forgot.
All right, who else is out there?
Ah.
Let's say Senate first. Like the
For the
Republicans
Senate race, there are 2 constitutional officers, John King, our insurance commissioner,
who I've met before.
and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who are both considering the race.
Can that now? How does he do with? I'm not talking about national MAGA. I'm talking
Right.
about Georgia. Because remember,
That
Trump. Remember, Trump came and said, "Vote for," and MAGA in Georgia didn't follow Trump.
He would do well in a general election. Secretary Raffensperger is a close friend, someone I admire a great deal. I think he would have trouble in a Republican primary.
Yeah, it seems like that MAGA thing, and
Correct.
Trump probably would maybe get involved
Possibly.
verbally in that.
He's going to get involved in the governor's race. He's saying after 2022 he's not going to involve and endorse hundreds of races across the country. We'll see.
Right, right.
4 members of Congress: Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hey, Marjorie.
Thank you.
Buddy
Hi.
Carter from the congressional district down in Savannah, the 1st district. Dr. Rich McCormick, one of 2 practicing physicians in the Congress.
And a vet, right?
And a veteran and a Morehouse School of Medicine graduate here in Atlanta in the 6th congressional district. And Mike Collins, son of Mac Collins, former congressman who represents the 10th congressional district, Athens, Augusta, in that area.
Mhm.
So 4 members of Congress, 2 constitutional officers, and Kelly Loeffler, who's currently the USSBA administrator, and Doug Collins, who runs the Veterans Administration, both of whom previously ran against John Ossoff in that special election where Kelly Loeffler came in first, Ossoff came in second, Doug Collins came in third, and then the runoff was won by John Ossoff. They're both looking at it, both in the Trump administration. Doug Collins, former congressman from the 9th District, defended Donald Trump very effectively in that first impeachment proceeding.
Yes, they're
and was
friends.
Donald Trump's pick for the special appointment when Johnny Isakson passed away. That didn't happen, and that was the beginning of the rift with Brian Kemp.
Yeah, and I think it's very difficult. And you tell me if I'm wrong. That special election with Kelly Loeffler and when that was there were a lot of oddities to that. I don't know how much you can draw from that. You remember Trump was telling everybody that the election had been stolen and rigged, and then he shows up and tells people, make sure you go out and
Yeah,
vote.
go
It was
vote.
it was a very mixed message.
On
I think
election
it got,
day,
yeah.
there were 1-800 numbers to call about the results of of November and ask your congressman to protest and not vote in the electoral
Yeah.
colleges. Yeah, very mixed.
It's
message.
very mixed to kind of say,
400,000 Republicans didn't come back out for that run.
And then also with Kelly Loeffler too. Remember, she ran as like I'm, a Georgia girl that's kind of country and everything like that. When in reality, she was a very successful businesswoman.
And that was the plan. She originally, when Kemp appointed her, was to go after the suburban women vote and bring that back into
Right.
the party.
And she didn't do that.
And then, Doug Collins got in running to her right.
Yeah. So,
And
which
so
means she had to kind of
shift.
try to fight him on that
She had
territory.
to do the David Perdue jean jacket thing. Look at me, I'm from country
And,
Georgia.
That
I'm like,
is
no, you're
not. She is a very successful business person. She and her husband own, among other things, the New York, London, Chicago stock exchanges, the
Yeah,
Hong Kong Stock
yeah.
Exchange. BOT, which is a electrocurrency.
What about the allegations of insider trading? Do you think that would come back to haunt her? Could you make a good commercial against her if you were working?
Members of Congress in both parties that we can name that had knowledge even of 2008's market collapse.
But if you were running a campaign that was going against her in the primary, do you think that you could come up with a commercial that would be effective?
I don't think too many Republican primary voters give a about insider
That's good.
trading.
That's good.
General election, yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's a good little way to censor yourself.
He's a pro.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while. Very good. And anybody different in the governor thing, or is it basically the same cast of characters thinking about both?
That same group is not going to run for governor, but for governor, you've got really right now a two-person race that could pick up a couple more. So with Brian Kemp not on the ballot at all, I'd be a little concerned about GOP turnout. Donald Trump will be engaged in this race, but neither Donald Trump or Brian Kemp in that November election will be on the ballot. If you're John Ossoff, besides this being more of a toss-off, the Socialist Party of Georgia is talking about having a candidate on the ballot, meeting the petition threshold.
For governor?
For governor. And if that happens, 3 to 5% of the vote, that could cost Ossoff the win again.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about for Senate?
Correct.
Oh, okay. But I mean,
if they file, they'll like the Libertarians, they'll want to run a slate.
But what
Libertarians typically 1 to 2%, but mostly pulls from the Republican side.
And the
Socialist and Green Party tend to pull from the Democratic side in the general election.
Right. Now with the governor thing, who are the top Republicans?
Chris Carr and the Attorney General, and Burt Jones is not yet announced, but is going to run the Lieutenant Governor, are the two that are going to be defining that race. There are probably 2 or 3 other people that may get into that Republican primary. The bigger story on that side is the Democratic side. So Stacey Abrams, maybe. Keisha Lance Bottoms, for sure. State Senator Jason Estevez is in it. Former State Senator Jason Carter, the president's grandson, is not because of his wife's health. Michael Thurman, the CEO of DeKalb County, former, is still looking at it. But I don't see a standout on that side, a real strong unifier for a party, Democratic Party.
And something we didn't bring up with the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, going back to the Senate, is probably now. Would a Democrat primary be so important that Democrats wouldn't cross over and vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene just to make her?
Yeah, there won't be a Democratic primary really for Senate, even if Ossoff has.
That's right, because nobody's going to run against Ossoff.
The same ballot is the gubernatorial race, so I think a lot of Democrats will care about who their gubernatorial nominee is, and that probably
reduces trying to cross over to make Marjorie Taylor Greene the general.
Oh,
okay, I get
Maybe Marjorie will run for both. She'll be the governor and our senator.
I can do it all because I'm a WOMAN.
You sure are.
I bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan.
Woo, she's ready to go. She's a Spitfire. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 85 in Midtown.
We are watching that one on the jam cam right now. It's in the second right lane, 85 southbound, right where those the right lane ramps onto I-75 north coming down from the 85-400 merge, so it's keeping that ride slow. Once you get past that, be ready to hit the brakes again from 17th Street down to I-20 with northbound delays stacked and packed from Highway 166, Langford Parkway, up past Peachtree, Pine Street, and still watching this crash involving a MARTA bus on Peachtree Road southbound at West Wesley. That is really stacked up the ride as you leave West Paces Ferry Road. Also tracking some brake lights on I-20 into DeKalb County. Kobe Dawkins.
And it's 20 eastbound, seeing you on and off the brakes, leaving I-285, getting past Panola Road. And westbound rides, you are free and clear of delays, leaving Stonecrest, getting to the perimeter. From the Coolray Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you just made my day.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
I've been forecasting sunshine for you for 40 years. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and now I'm excited with the sunshine inside my home. It's bigger and brighter thanks to my Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. They're not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows. Fiberglass is stronger with narrower frames that brighten your home with more daylight and bigger views.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
For garage door repair, Metro Atlanta calls the real overhead door company of Atlanta. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1935. Others try to copy the name but cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 85 years of trust and loyalty from Metro Atlanta homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original overhead door company of Atlanta. Just call 404 USA Door.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit cometocenterwellgeorgia.com. That's cometocenterwellgeorgia.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people pay to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Jared Yamamoto, you haven't seen The Third Man.
I have not.
George Clark.
I have not.
Orson Welles didn't direct it, but some of his greatest scenes of all
I'm
time.
a real good actor as well as a director.
Very. Well, it is
Do you remember my Bird's Eye commercials?
Oh, they were fantastic.
Yes.
Not as good as the what was the
Parmesan.
Yeah.
That movie was before the 3 chairs on an airplane.
Serve no wine. Look, I don't know who this is.
And you don't,
I don't need criticism.
You don't need snark.
Not from some Politico. From
Orson Welles, he's being snarky.
Some Pole, some snarky Pole.
Hack. I prefer hack.
Yeah, he's a hack.
You're a hack.
Thank you.
My favorite. Do you think I want to?
You think I want to live like this?
There's a book. There's a book that Kevin Kinney bought for me, actually, because he knows I'm into Orson Welles, and it's about that last movie he was making that took forever and
It never got finished.
Well, it got finished by Netflix, actually.
Yeah, but not by him.
Not by him. But it's he has a bunch of interns, and they're shooting in this house, and the interns go out and get his food, and like literally they're bringing him like, I don't know, 7 cheeseburgers and a chicken. It's just he's eating. And one of the interns opens the door of the bedroom, and he's sitting there. He's got nothing on but a robe, and they're bringing in all this food, and there's nothing but prescription bottles all around him. And he can see that the intern's kind of like, and he looks up and he says, "Do you think I enjoy living like this?"
There's nothing I can do. They haven't invented Ozempic.
That's right. That is right.
If he had had Ozempic, could have saved his life.
But that's not political, and Bill Crane is not here to talk movies.
But I can do film.
Although I would say that we found out The Third Man. I mean,
I'm adding it to my list.
The scene on the Ferris wheel is you haven't seen a movie, and you can't even talk about movies if you've not seen this
like
movie.
Hitchcock, just have a masterful, the camera
Right.
eye.
Yeah.
Of,
Well, he didn't direct The Third Man.
No. But
He's
I'm
only-
saying, as a hit to me, his acting is good, but his
Yeah.
directing is better.
Oh, no, actually, yeah. And he also changed this. Whenever he acted in movies, part of it was he has to be able to change his lines. And the lines that he used on the Ferris wheel are his and not the original. And they're absolute. I won't even spoil it. But
I think he
if you
might
don't
have
watch
done
it,
that
the
movie
next.
as a favor to Joseph Cotton too, because
Yeah.
they were trying to rescue Joseph Cotton at the box office and make him a leading man for other than Orson Welles movies, and that was his best friend.
And he's great in that movie.
Yeah.
He is great in that movie. All right, that's movie talk. Anything else in politics?
Well, for
Bill Crane.
Hold my beer, Gulf of America. Trump plans to announce the U.S. will call the Persian Gulf the Arabian Gulf.
All right, now.
Why
not? Why would be the
I want
of years,
purple
it's
to be
been
called blue.
Persian
I want
Gulf.
Yeah.
Thousands of years, multiple countries, continents, aerospace. It's the Persian Gulf, and to
since the 13th century, I believe.
Yeah, and to further inflame the potential of nuclear war with Iran over something as petty as a name that isn't going to stick.
Well, there are apparently, in my reading, there are some Arab states that currently refer to it
That's their
as the
choice.
Gulf of Arabia.
Yeah, but it's not on maps that way. It's
right.
not, when you fly over it, you're not flying over the Arabian Gulf.
Yeah, I think it's a little.
All
he's
right,
trying,
the Gulf of Qatar.
And he may be trying to leverage some relationships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar.
He's also trying to get Iran to the bargaining table.
This isn't the way to do that.
I don't know, maybe if you say, hey, maybe I won't call it the Gulf of Arabia. Yeah, maybe it's just a
I
little
do
extra.
think there's a bit of anchoring going on in his tariff negotiations where you say, I want the moon.
Right.
And then they're happy to give you a country.
Right.
How about like your airport? We call it the Persian Arabian Gulf.
That's right. There you go. You're going to come for Atlanta. See, that's not the first
Why
time.
don't we just call everything Trump? It's
Yeah.
so much easier to
Well,
remember.
I mean,
It's one
It
syllable.
would be so beautiful if we did. Call the Earth planet Trump.
Why would you call it? Why don't you just call it Trump World?
Trump World is great. That's an amusement park we'll talk about
You have
later.
a new
I'm thinking
executive
about-
order.
Right.
You got to do executive order?
I'm going to issue it tomorrow. Breaking news right here on your show with Bill here. Atlanta will henceforth be known as Marthasville. As
Bringing
it
it
was
back.
at one time.
Bringing it back, huh?
I thought about Terminus, but that's
And
so
Martha was the
final.
daughter of the most prominent railroad that came into Atlanta, and it later became Terminus, a hub of all rail.
There you go. So, do we all.
Blah, blah, blah. Marthasville.
Do we love Martha?
We love Martha.
Yeah, we love Martha.
George
It's
Washington's
like Kanye
mom.
West adjacent, don't you think? I feel like if Kanye West was president, he'd be doing this kind of stuff. like
He'd be calling it a
renaming
lot
things.
worse.
Yeah, we'd be going back
He
to.
would, he would.
I think there'd be a lot of 30s.
So much to look forward to. Kanye West. Because
He may run.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You want to stick around for another seg?
Sure.
All right. Alex Williams says there's trouble on 285 in DeKalb.
Round of applause to our hero units because they got there fast. 285 eastbound, the outer loop between 675 and Boulder Crest Road. Held all lanes. It got a stall from the left lane to the right shoulder. Everything is back open there. Heading into Midtown and downtown, that crash, 85 southbound before 17th Street, was in a second right lane. And now hero unit holding the right lane, which is on I-85 southbound, the one that ramps to I-75 northbound. So keeping that ride extra slow as you leave at Georgia 400. 400 northbound, we're still seeing a few brake lights in Sandy Springs as you leave 285. How's I-75 heading up toward Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins?
75 northbound, you're a little sluggish starting at Delk Road, getting into Ackworth towards Highway 92, and 575 northbound, just a slight tap of the brakes getting into Woodstock. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
These days, the Atlanta real estate market is just like Atlanta weather, unpredictable. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. If there was ever a time to work with a true real estate expert, now is that time. In all my years in residential real estate, this is the most change and volatility I've seen. A misstep could cost thousands. This is when experience matters. My team and I are passionate about providing clarity to our clients through our expertise in real estate. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, we can give you that clarity so you can make great choices and the best decisions. And yes, I host Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB, but you don't have to wait until Saturday for help. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and ask me anything. My team and I are here for you. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com for clarity in buying or selling your home.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
This Mother's Day, don't just buy a gift, make one. Only at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, you can build Mom a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry, designed by you, crafted by our master jewelers. Here's how it works. Pick a ring, bracelet, or necklace from our Mother's Day collection, pick the birthstones that represent your family, and our master jewelers hand-set them into something that's hers forever. Prices start at just $3.95, so come build your own Mother's Day jewelry only at D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Post Malone presents the Big Stadium Tour. 9-time Diamond certified and 16-time Grammy Award nominated phenomenon, Post Malone. His biggest headline tour this Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Global superstar Post Malone with Jelly Roll and special guest Sierra Farrell. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to kick those critters out. With the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if they return, you're covered at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top story, it's black smoke at the Sistine Chapel.
Waiting a long time is kind of disappointing to see the black smoke.
She's one of the many people gathered in St. Peter's Square as Cardinals hold a conclave to vote on the next pope. Black smoke means no pope yet. They'll try again tomorrow morning after failing to reach a consensus today. Dr. Susan Reynolds with Emory University's Candler School of Theology explains how the process works.
The consensus vote needs to reach 2/3, so whoever becomes pope needs 89 votes, and there's no campaigning. They just take continuous votes, essentially, until a consensus emerges.
The 133 Cardinals are completely cut off from the outside world during the conclave. 69 degrees in Atlanta. Rain chances return tomorrow. Are we stuck in a wet pattern for a while? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. The Carter Center launches a new awareness campaign in Atlanta, encouraging people to seek mental health care. Here's a report all new at 6 o'clock.
The campaign is the second the center has launched since Georgia lawmakers approved legislation requiring insurance companies to cover mental health care like physical care. The Carter Center's Sarah Phillips says,
our campaign reaches out specifically to Black women who experience concerns about accessing care and facing stigma for mental illness at a particularly high rate.
This is being done in partnership with the Arthur Blank Family Foundation. The campaign runs through July 20th. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
The driver accused in the fatal accident which inspired Addie's Law in Georgia appears in a Metro Atlanta courtroom today.
The grieving family of Adeline Pierce sat quietly in the gallery of a Henry County courtroom as the woman charged with the 8-year-old's vehicular homicide sat constantly weeping on the bench behind them, waiting for her case to be called. Kaylee Andre is accused of running a Henry County school bus's stop sign and flashing lights, hitting Addie as she walked to get on the bus. Lawyers tell the judge they expect Andre to enter a non-negotiated plea later this month. That means she will plead guilty to some or all charges, and her sentencing will be determined by the judge. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
A Hall County man is in jail after investigators say they found child porn on his cell phone.
Our Internet Crimes Against Children unit at the Hall County Sheriff's Office charged 24-year-old Trey Newton Bryson of Claremont in the North Hall area with several counts of sexual exploitation of children.
B.J. Williams with the Hall County Sheriff's Office says they have been investigating Bryson since 2022, but weren't able to access his electronic devices until recently. The children's ages in this case range from 3 to 14 years old. 2 New York women are sentenced in Cherokee County for operating an elaborate retail crime scam in more than 20 states. It involved repacking AirPods they bought at Walmart and Target stores.
They would purchase the Apple AirPods legally with cash, and then they would carefully remove the packaging. They would take out the original authentic product and replace it with off-brand headphones.
Cherokee County Assistant District Attorney Rachel Murphy says they would then return the fake product and sell the real things. Ebony Washington and Melissa Holland each get a decade in prison. Passengers flying out of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport today are dealing with something new at the security checkpoints.
Getting through TSA security now requires, in most cases, an upgraded driver's license or ID called a Real ID. The TSA says 20% of passengers don't have Real ID. One passenger who does fears being delayed because of that.
I anticipate delays going through security.
Another passenger says she's ready for anything.
I came early. I've got my driver's license and my passport just in case, even though I have a Real ID.
Passports and military IDs are also accepted at TSA checkpoints. At Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
A Delta flight from San Juan to Atlanta is delayed because of an unruly passenger. Flight 1946 returned to the gate and the passenger was taken off the plane. The flight arrived in Atlanta after 10 o'clock last night. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines says it has zero tolerance for unruly behavior. Unruly passengers can be fined up to $37,000 by the FAA and could face criminal charges. It is now 6:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Checking on some new slow zone in Dorville, 285 westbound, the outer loop right around Buford Highway exit 32. We're going to spin the jam cam and see what's cooking there. If you're traveling I-20 westbound on the West Freeway, we're seeing some more brake lights pick up right around the theme park, trying to get past Riverside Parkway. It stays on and off the brakes out to Thornton Road, exit number 44. And you're a little slow into DeKalb County, 20 eastbound as you make the commute out to Panola Road. What's the story through the heart of the city, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's slow. 75-85 northbound, you're stacked and packed in, starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street. 85 southbound, some better news. Crash cleared off to the right at the entrance to I-75 northbound, but tough delays remain getting to I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of this evening, staying cool. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, high 79. Watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms late in the evening through early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, mostly cloudy, high 76. Saturday, mostly cloudy, morning low 60, afternoon high 65. Sunday, mostly cloudy, morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime highs in the low 70s.
Right now, storm tracker radar is clear in metro Atlanta, 65 in Cummings, 70 in Dallas, also 70 in Conyers. More news at 6:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Here it is, Caiaccio. Why don't you tell the people what hour this is? Why don't you tell them what hour?
Hour 4
of
the Von Hessler Doctrine
begins
right now.
Right now. And we got Greg Rush coming up, and I just want him to know, we just want to say goodbye to Bill Crane.
Thank you, and bye, Marjorie. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't say it was a goodbye.
Same time, same place.
All right, let's go.
I think you both. I think something.
You're getting along.
I think there's a spark here. Yeah, it was like, you know how the movies always start.
Opposites attract.
That's right. In the beginning, they hate each other, and then by the end,
they had to work together on a project.
That's right.
We're gonna get a picture of each other with our backs to each other, with our arms crossed.
Yeah, that'll be the movie poster. Bill Crane.
Where are the lifts?
Continued success with the chemo. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you next week.
See you soon.
All right, now let's do this.
He's a misanthrope, he has a dark heart, and he needs a good psychiatrist. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Wednesday edition.
Hey, by the way, it's CSI Crane. You want to get in touch with Bill Crane?
Great column, too, that comes out every week.
And it's, I was quickly trying to think of 3 letters that would be funny in front of Greg Russ's name, and I just fell down on the job. I just couldn't. My brain would not produce that. So we'll just call him the awesome Gregory Russ. How are you, Greg?
I'm good, thank you.
Wow, you sound like you're just effusive. You're I would say bubbly, if I had to describe
Well, I like the idea that you're incapable of coming up with 3 letters to put in front of
It
my
was in
name.
the it was in the moment.
But then you called me awesome, so then I didn't know what to do because I was rooting for your failure, and then you said something nice.
Okay, let's stop here for the history of the show, and let's point out that maybe you should not be criticizing anybody's improvisation skills, because we do know what happened when you took an improv class, and the night of the final. Maybe we should remind people again.
I don't know this story.
Oh, this poor girl.
You know this story. The story's been told so many times.
Yes.
It's a point of shame in my life that still hits me.
That's why it's so much fun.
Several times a year.
Yes.
I was 26 at the time. So what are we at this point? We are.
Yes.
Oh boy, we're 26.
Well, he's in a
12,
mood. I can
13.
see he's in a mood.
I'm not.
He's in a mood.
He's stuffed up. Is what he's in a mood.
Are you stuffed up? Are you sick?
I am stuffed up right now, but I'm not sick. But I don't know what's going on. I can't.
Do you have allergies?
Fluoride.
You have allergies? Is it the mustache?
Possibly.
Is it mustache dander?
You would think the mustache would act as like a filter.
Maybe,
There's
unless you
so
get...
much dust and skin.
Yeah.
On the mustache. So
Skin.
it's just clogging me up.
Yeah, you sound like Charlie Brown.
So much dust and skin.
So now we have to tell the story, and we don't tell it 2 or 3 times a year. I think the last time it was like on the podcast or something.
Yeah, we've only
and we
been
haven't done a
I was just
podcast in
saying,
years.
We've only been an afternoon drive for 2 years, guys.
Yeah. So people don't know this story, and it's a great story. Maybe it's a little humiliating for Greg, but you know what? That keeps our feet firmly planted on the ground. Don't you think, Greg? Being humiliated keeps us from becoming one of these people, filled with hubris. So I want to make sure that your head does not get too big, Greg Russ. So he was taking he took an
Don't have to
improv.
worry about that.
He took an improv class. Well, I'll make sure your mustache doesn't get too big.
It has a life of its own.
He took an improv class, and so the first rule of improv is never say no. Like you just kind of go along with it, even just so you kind of keep it going. Yes, and. So were you guys in bird costumes or something?
No. So here's our graduation show.
Yeah.
And normally no one shows up to graduation shows, but for whatever reason, our graduation show was right before a big show, and they let people in early. So it was a pretty crowded theater. Mm-hmm. We each did 2 scenes in our graduation show. My first scene, I did well. I had the joke that got the lights to go out and ended the scene, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And for whatever reason, while I was waiting for my next scene, I started thinking, I was like, man, I don't know if I can top that. I wish that were my second scene, not my first scene. So I'm already starting to doubt myself. And we get out there, and whatever the setup is we're at a Renaissance fair. And my scene partner says, I'm glad I wore my bird costume today. And I said, I didn't wear mine.
effectively killing the scene. Now,
that was it. There's no recovering from the scene. I went home, and I never thought about doing improv again.
Did you at least still pass? Because it was graduation, right?
Yeah.
So
is
you
there
still
a certificate?
passed, right?
Do you have a framed
certificate?
Do you have a framed certificate on your wall as having passed improv?
No, I got out of there. I was so ashamed. I didn't talk to the teacher. I didn't talk to anyone.
What about the
probably went out
poor
for
girl?
drinks.
What about the poor girl? Like was she a friendly person? Was she somebody that was a cool
and here's
person?
the thing. She was, and she was one of the people who wasn't so good at it, because you go into these classes and there's people who think they're good at it and they're not, but they dominate because they're classically trained and
they're loud.
They did their high school show, and yes, they'll dominate. You get people who are a little more reserved and quiet, and you have the people who are good, and you have the people who are quiet and aren't so good.
She fell into that category.
Yes, and that idea actually could have been pretty funny.
Sure. Yes, she presented you as something to work with, and you just batted it away. basically.
Her one opportunity to shine.
Yeah,
destroyed.
You wanted. I wonder about because I was starting to be around this kind of crowd like in the mid '80s, and a lot of improvisation back then. The people that you're talking about who would show up who are like big and loud and did it all the time, they would very much follow like Robin Williams and what he would do. And I wonder today, because the crutch back then was the gay voice. The crutch back, yeah, he would do it all the time. And in improv stuff, if the thing was kind of dying, then somebody would suddenly be like the hairdresser or something like that. And I would imagine in 2025, that doesn't play.
No.
So you don't have that crutch to kind of reach for anymore. So maybe it's actually worth seeing.
Yeah, do the redneck.
Yeah, you gotta figure out who you can still make fun of. What types you can still make
Italians.
fun of. Italians, rednecks. There's really nothing else.
Western European. That's it.
Yeah, like old dead white authors.
Yes.
Right. You can do that, and that's about it.
What about the English? You can make fun of them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know in improv classes now, some of them they go around the room, and they have everybody talk about the things that they don't want to come up. Because some people are triggered by certain things.
Is this true?
Yes.
I know this for a fact
insanity.
from people who have been involved. Can you? I mean, at that point, just don't do. If you're triggered so easily, don't do improv, because guess what you're there for. Stop looking inside. Look around. Yeah, there's an audience. You're there to help them have a good time tonight, and the idea when you're on stage is. It's not all about you. It's about you serving the public that either paid or showed up or whatever. And so it just seems ridiculous to me. So you're out there and you have a partner and you've learned that there's 5 things that you can't talk about because that triggers them. Well, then good for them. Don't do improv. Not everybody shouldn't do improv. That's another thing where they make a lot of money with, bring your sales team in. It'll help them with sales. And then you got to watch it.
It's a team building.
Yeah.
That's team building.
That's the only way they make money.
Yeah.
The shows aren't making them money. They're
Right.
doing those corporate things.
Right. So if you're triggered, don't go into comedy. And if you're triggered, don't go see comedy. Just do something
What a
else.
way to limit it. That stinks to just limit.
You're absolutely, but it's not about how good we are as a troupe, and it's not about how good a time the audience had. It's all if you're somebody who thinks like that, it is always about you, and the world must bend toward you because after all, you're great. And so I've never been, even though I did improv for a while with a group, I was always the person that was asking, hey, what century are we in? Like I just, for some reason, I can do this where we don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but on stage, hey, you're a duck in the 13th century.
Quack.
I've got consumption. Quack. I've got consumption. All right. I know for a fact that there are some good stories in your hopper today because I put many of them there. And I do want to get to some stories from Studio B1, but not just yet because the old clock on the wall, and boy, is it old. We need a new one. Tells me it's time to do a little.
It's working.
It is working.
Yeah, but it ticks.
Are you sure? What time does it say?
6:15:05.
Okay, that's right.
Alex Williams says there are delays on 285 in Doraville.
And we found the reason for him here at 6:15, Eric. It's a crash. 285 westbound, the outer loop, Buford Highway exit 32. They're holding multiple right lanes, so it's jamming up the ride, leaving I-85 Spaghetti Junction, also impacting the ramps from 85 to I-285 westbound. Not worth a wide way around it yet. Brake lights find you again on the outer loop, 285 westbound, right at Georgia 400 for the ride over to Roswell Road, but cleans up pretty nicely as you make the trek over to I-75 in Truist Park. How are the brake lights on the inner loop of the perimeter, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, it's slow, leaving Dunwoody 285 southbound, starting right at Highway 23, moving through Spaghetti Junction, getting into Clarkston past Highway 78. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Termites are one of the most destructive pests. Let Active Pest Control develop a custom termite control plan for your home. For a free quote, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The Papal Conclave is underway.
133 cardinal electors, the most of any conclave.
What does it mean for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide and Catholics here in Atlanta?
We're going to be looking way over there for the smoke.
For breaking news, the details, and what it all means to you, stay with 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Just knock right out.
Just knock right out. We looked at each other. I had the same thing. And it's like, hey, we're artists, right? Sometimes you just got to keep working until you're tired, and then you don't want to go upstairs. That's the life, my friend.
But you get the steps by going upstairs.
Oh. Do I look like I'm gaining weight to you?
I think you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
You got summertime Eric look over there.
Yeah, I got to get a little more sun. But right now we're redoing the deck, so the back area is not...
What's there now?
Well, the new deck that's going up.
Oh, you can't go out on it.
Well, not unless I want to fall out of my... Oh. I mean, if you open my door, my living room... you ever see like in Doctor Who where they open the door and they almost fall out, flying through the universe? It's kind of like that feeling.
Oh.
It's weird when you open your door and the deck's not there. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. But it's being built as we speak. And a couple of weeks, maybe I'll have a party. I'll have George Clark over.
Okay.
Be there.
Yeah, I'm not having one of those parties like the last time where I had
That
to
was a
shut
gala.
That was a. Well, I don't know. Was it a gala, Autumn? Would that be in your thinking? Is she there? What is she doing? Did her kids get home?
No, I'm here. I
Oh.
just couldn't. I'm in the car, so I was
Oh,
muted because the birds, you know.
Wednesdays. I heard those birds. But you know what? They didn't make
They're
me mad.
peaceful.
They made me
It's a lot better than
They
dog.
made me feel like, oh, nice.
Yeah, I was going to say you care about the birds, but not the dog.
It's not that I care. It's just it puts me in a better mood than.
Well, I mean, Autumn, she's muting
Oh.
because of the birds, but the dogs.
I have to.
I mute all the time because
Yeah.
of the dog. I mute constantly. It's just
Yeah.
that it's always when I'm not muted that he likes to freak out.
I have to bring this up, and I won't try to. There was a joke that I had in my stand-up act back in the early '90s, and I won't do the joke, but it was about somehow I got it to it. It was a pretty successful joke about how animals are appropriate in the way they sound, and that if birds and dogs were different. You know, and you would have these birds barking at you. Like how different the world would be.
Oh, yeah. Like in the morning.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
birds like,
Starting at like 3 a.m. they start.
and they're flying down on you. It's a very scary world to live in.
They would be near extinction. Everybody would be trying to kill them.
It'd be like you're in The Birds, that movie. Which, by the way, is not that great of a movie. It's decent. It's all right. You know, I don't know.
Rear Window's way better.
Rear Window is way better.
And Psycho's better than all of them.
Psycho's,
Rear Window's so much better than Psycho.
Psycho's very, very good, though. That's very, very good.
But why though? Is it because of the cinematography and like the pacing and stuff, or is it just because?
It's the fact that he did it on a low budget, made it black and white.
Yeah, but I think Rear Window's a more enjoyable movie.
It's more. They're both great. Now, why are we pitting them against one another? The one that can't the movies all get along? The one that I actually like and nobody talks about is, and I'm blanking on the name of it. It's Springtime in Maine with Trouble with Harry. Nobody talks about this movie.
I've never heard of it.
Young Shirley MacLaine, absolutely stunning.
Oh, you're in love with Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, young Shirley MacLaine, absolutely stunning.
Have you seen her lately?
Yeah,
wow, she's old.
Have you seen me lately?
She done growed up.
The Beaver is in it. He's like 5 years old.
That's cute.
John Forsythe. Isn't he Charlie from Charlie's Angels?
from
that
Dynasty.
voice, and from Dynasty, and the whole thing is shot in color in Maine. I said spring, that was wrong. In the fall.
Wow.
And it's a fantastic movie. I don't know what it is because it's kind of funny and farcical. It's a farce, but it's a great movie. And when people talk about Hitchcock, nobody ever brings it up.
I'm looking at a list of all 56 of his films. And The Trouble with Harry comes in dead last.
No, that's absurd. Even those crappy black and white movies from
Sorry,
England.
Eric,
Burt
you're
Lahr
wrong.
is in it. Burt Lahr is fantastic in it.
You're wrong. Sorry.
I'm not wrong.
That list
They're
says
wrong.
it.
Critics
You know what?
say otherwise.
Let me just say this about people. I watch these people are wrong
boy.
so often. I watch these people that love David Bowie. They're gonna rank the David Bowie albums. One of the albums of his in his later years that I thought was fantastic always comes in as last or at the bottom. It's called Hours, Hours. This album is fantastic.
So you're just giving another example where you're wrong. Okay.
I think maybe One Tin Soldier Rides Away.
Oh.
Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend.
Oh man.
It's like the way that lady would scream that.
Go ahead and hate your neighbor.
Do it in the
Sad
name
and
of
awful.
heaven.
Yes, Greg. Yes.
Sad and awful is the way this movie is described.
That is absurd.
The color on this, I'm looking at it
It's
on YouTube. It is so
unbelievable.
beautiful.
This movie is beautiful. It is great. It's fantastic.
Well, that's what it says. The film is decorated beautifully. It's shot beautifully, but there's nothing else.
You have
nothing.
got
that
to be
the
kidding
script-
me.
That there's nothing to the script, and the actors do the best they can, but there's just nothing there.
When was the last time you saw it, Eric?
Probably a few years ago. I've seen
Did
it
you
many
watch
times.
It high?
Why? How would I have never?
Oh, that's a yes. Okay, next.
I don't. Where do you have any evidence that I have ever done anything like that?
Oh, I guess I meant like up on your upper level of your home.
Who can watch a movie high? You have to be sober.
Yeah, how would I even remember it?
Like
Yeah.
The Wall.
You're
Listen.
right. You know, I don't know what I was.
You think I'm
Crazy.
You think I'm
Crazy
sponsoring
me.
all these school dare programs for nothing?
Ugh. Gosh.
Pot and gummies don't
I
count,
got
right?
a screw loose.
Pot and
sorry to
gummies
keep
don't
going
count,
back to
right?
this.
What's that? This drives me crazy.
But
This
I
movie.
like, here's the last line in this review. The Trouble with Harry is a loathsome waste of time.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. I've never known this. I've never known that people hated it. I had never known that. Well,
Well,
you
all
know,
right, this is one data point. Okay, let's see if there's other places that.
what does
are
Roger
better.
Ebert say? Go to ebert.com or
What
whatever.
about that other guy with the
Gene
mustache?
Siskel?
No.
Jane
the
Charlotte?
No.
or Leonard Maltin.
Leonard Maltin.
What's he
Rotten
say?
Tomatoes people relatively like it. So the audience gives it 73% and the critics give it 88%.
I don't
All right,
count Rotten
thank
Tomatoes
you.
as anything.
I
though.
don't
Rotten
care.
Tomatoes sucks.
You shh, quiet. Rotten
okay,
Tomatoes
okay.
agrees with me.
Oh,
And
Rotten
that-
Tomatoes said it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
It's visually one of the best movies Hitchcock ever made.
Gee, Shallon, I miss you.
I miss all of you.
I miss the world that was.
Me too.
Me too.
I wasn't there.
I know, but you would have loved it. I can tell you about it one day. It was great.
Okay.
You would have loved the 70s. All right, let's give some stuff away.
Yeah.
Is this from? Is this the
Yes.
theme? I thought it was. I love this movie, Trouble with Harry. And if you don't like it, then to hell with you. All right, let's give away tickets to see Blackberry Smoke with Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs on Saturday, August 9th at Cadence Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Tickets are on sale right now at livenation.com. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in DeKalb.
And they are just now, as we speak, getting it off to the right, 285 westbound, the outer loop, Beaufort Highway, exit 32. So that should help that ride clean up, leaving I-85 Spaghetti Junction there in Doraville. South side of the perimeter just found a crash impacting the right lane, 285 southbound, the outer loop right around Washington Road. You're seeing a few brake lights back toward Camp Creek Parkway. How are things looking through the heart of the city, Kobe Dawkins?
It remains slow. 75-85 northbound, brake lights starting just past Langford Parkway, getting towards Spring Street. Southbound rides, those delays continue to start well before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, y'all. Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. And I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 60% off all windows, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top story, day one of the conclave ends without a new pope.
A sea of scarlet robes and caps, the Cardinals moved past the Swiss Guards in their blue and gold uniforms and into the Sistine Chapel. This tourist says he was the last to leave before the Cardinals arrived.
And I prayed for the Cardinals and for the conclave and for the church worldwide.
And the worldwide church has never been better represented than at this conclave. 133 cardinals from 70 countries, most chosen by Pope Francis himself, but most also strangers to each other. Weary applause from St. Peter's Square as black smoke signals no pope today. It may take this diverse and divided conclave several rounds to find their new pontiff. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
The next vote comes tomorrow morning. 71 degrees in Atlanta. Cloudy and cool tonight. Are we stuck with rain chances for the immediate future? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Happening now, DeKalb County Police investigating a deadly shooting on Constitution Road. We're told the 19-year-old victim victim was dropped off at a fire station. We're working now to learn more about the circumstances. A week-long FBI sting targets child sex abuse with hundreds of arrests nationwide, including some here in Georgia.
5 people from Atlanta, 2 from Augusta, and 2 out of the Rome area are facing charges ranging from possession of child sexual abuse material to enticement of a minor.
Operation Restore Justice was designed to coincide with April, which was designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month. So this past week, all 55 field officers participated by conducting arrests.
FBI Special Agent in charge Paul Brown says last week alone, 205 people were arrested and 115 children were rescued nationwide. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
2 known gang members faced charges in a shooting in Forest Park last month that left 2 people dead at a motorcycle gathering.
Investigators say it was a territorial dispute between a pair of motorcycle gangs that led to the shooting on Jones Road. Forest Park Police Chief Brandon Criss says one suspect, Donnell McKnight, is in custody, but the other, Nigel Blackwood, is on the run.
We ask the public, if you do know any additional information regarding this incident, to please give us a call.
The chief says only 2 people are facing charges at this time, but he is expecting more.
All of those individuals that are responsible for what transpired inside of the city of Forest Park will also be brought to justice.
Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A verdict is in today for 3 former Memphis police officers in the Tyree Nichols murder trial.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Demetrius Haley, not guilty.
They were charged with beating Nichols to death in 2023. The incident was caught on video. The 3 are found not guilty on all charges. They already face the possibility of years in prison, though, after they were convicted of federal charges last year. Now, a WSB Money update. No change in interest rates. The Federal Reserve today keeping rates steady for the 3rd straight meeting. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says there are positive signs for the U.S. economy.
Despite heightened uncertainty, the economy is still in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment.
He says the Fed feels it's in a good position to wait for greater clarity on the impact of tariffs. After the Fed's decision, Wall Street closes with stocks higher. The Dow gaining almost 285 points today. The Nasdaq and S&P also up for the day. A new statewide survey from the Emory Center for Child Health Policy finds out what parents in Georgia are worried about.
The survey of 1,000 Georgia parents shows some disparities among rural and urban parents, as well as some differences within ethnic groups. But lead author Dr. Stephen Patrick says many topics are universal.
Education, school quality, social media, bullying, gun violence, and mental health.
Some notable data points: 36% of Georgia households with children are food insecure. 86% of parents have a favorable view of vaccines. 80% support some form of limitation on gun access. And Dr. Patrick says there's one big takeaway.
We all have to be in this together for Georgia's kids.
Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 6:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Got some better news for those heading down near the airport. We had a crash. I just watched the fire truck pull out of the right lane. 285 southbound, right around Washington Road, exit 1. Still some delays back toward Camp Creek Parkway. Elsewhere on the south side, 285 east and northbound, a little sluggish into DeKalb from Boulder Crest Road, trying to get up to I-20. And it's cleaned up nicely in Doraville, 285 westbound, leaving I-85, where the crash cleared off to the right at Beaufort Highway. How is the ride on I-85 toward Gwinnett County? Kobe Dawkins?
Remains sluggish, 85 northbound, leaving I-285, getting towards Beaver Ruin Road. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Mostly cloudy for the rest of this evening, staying cool. Overnight lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, high 79. Watching for pop-up showers and thunderstorms late in the evening through early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, mostly cloudy, high 76. Saturday, mostly cloudy, morning low 60, afternoon high 65. Sunday, mostly cloudy, morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime highs in the low 70s.
Right now, Storm Tracker radar shows no rain in the metro Atlanta area. It's 66 in Snellville, 65 in Dunwoody, and 75 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long
and your budget is tight.
and your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
When defending bikers' rights, trust is everything and results matter. SteelHorseLaw.com.
Remember that first paycheck when you started working all those years ago? You looked at the net amount and thought, whoa, what happened here? Ah, the joy of taxes. It could be this way with your retirement accounts. You know how much you've saved, but if you haven't planned for Uncle Sam, you could come up short in retirement. With tax laws constantly changing, there's a lot you need to know to make sure you're not paying more than your fair share. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the Lloyd Advisory Group can help you create a plan that shows you how taxes could affect you now and in the future. Set up your tax strategy session with Mark and the team at the Lloyd Advisory Group now. Call 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Make sure you know how these changes could affect you so you can avoid some of those whoa moments in retirement. Call 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services offered through Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Congratulations to Jaron Sutton of Smyrna. Won 2 tickets to see Blackberry Smoke with Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs on Saturday, August 9th at Cadence Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park. Tickets are on sale right now at livenation.com. I don't want to stick to this forever, but now I hate the fact that you told me that some people don't like the movie The Trouble with Harry. Because I've always, I guess let me finish. I've always just loved it, and now that I'm thinking, and you know what'll happen is the next time I watch it, it'll be in my head, and I'll go, oh yeah, maybe. But thinking about it, maybe there isn't much of a plot. That may be true, that it's not much of a plot, but it is so
the worst out of all of his movies.
Now hold on, no, it's not. But let me just make this point: if you're going to watch it, first of all, it's beautiful, and maybe it is about the actors. It's Shirley MacLaine. I think it's her first movie, and like Burt Lahr has all of the actors. This might be hard to get across, but it makes you so. It's almost like ASMR. They all have these really comforting voices, and Burt Lahr sounds like the guy who narrates Winnie the Pooh. You know, like that voice that makes you feel like you feel comfortable when you hear it. And he's kind of flirting with this older lady, and her voice is really cool. John Forsythe, who was the voice through the phone for Charlie's Angels, and so maybe the plot, if I'm thinking about it, because like I think Vertigo has too much plot. By the end of Vertigo, I'm like, I've got vertigo. Like, I've never enjoyed Vertigo the way everybody else does.
High Anxiety's good.
High Anxiety is fantastic. But, you know, there's just something about, I find, go in thinking like ASMR with this movie. It is, everything about it, the visuals, all the voices are just comfortable. They're like a blanket that you just put over yourself on a cold fall evening in Maine.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT what ChatGPT thinks is good about this movie?
Because ChatGPT is in my head and will convince me that I should never watch the movie again.
Here's what Roger Ebert, you asked me
Yes.
to look up what Roger Ebert had to say. He used the phrases delightful black comedy, vintage story from a great director with a wry sense of humor, one of the most liveliest works in his exceptional career.
Oh.
He repeatedly called it funny and endearing.
Okay, well, so what list put him as the worst hits? Because, you know, Hitchcock's got a bunch of movies from England that are almost silent films before he gets to America. Like, he did all those movies over again. He did the 39 Steps in England. He did The Man Who Knew Too Much in England. And they're real early, like 1934, 1935, black and white movies. And so the idea they're putting it below those just seems crazy, because Hitchcock came to America for a reason, because we made better movies.
If you want to know what's number one on this list, it's Shadow of a Doubt.
What? This is some
Shadow
kind
of a
of
Doubt is their number one.
This is some kind of
movie
academic.
on the
What
list.
year was that? That's an English 32, 33 movie or something, right?
Yeah,
this
that
is
one
some
was
academic
from
D-bag.
43.
Really?
That was from 43.
Shadow of a Doubt. Why don't I know that one?
I don't know it.
What's it
So
about?
this is all 50.
Yeah. So he made a bunch of movies in England before he came to America. And then he made movies. His first contract I can't remember who it was with, but he was constricted and he made some okay movies, but he couldn't really make the movies that he wanted. And then he struck a deal with somebody else where he either got out of that contract or it ended, and then he started making the movies that we all know him for, really, like Rear Window and all of those
Didn't
movies.
his final films get panned?
I think his last one was pretty bad. The last one came out in like 1980 or something, 78 or something like that. And I think that one was probably not very good. I don't know that I've ever seen it. He, in the late 60s, he had a couple that were still considered pretty good. There's, I can't remember the names of them. The Spy movie. I think he's back in England by that time.
Torn Curtain, and Topaz.
Topaz, Torn Curtain, those things.
The last one was Family Plot.
Yeah, that's the last.
Bruce Dern.
Yeah, what year? 78, 76?
Six.
76, yeah. So how old is he at that point?
Pretty old. He couldn't make the film after that because he got sick.
Yeah. So I never saw Family Plot, but I always assumed it probably wasn't that good. And now you're in for the movie hour. Did we start with the White Lotus? And
We
it's
did.
become like we should just do an entertainment show.
That would be awesome.
Talk about politics all the time. So, yeah, Trump said something. People are mad.
Well,
blah blah blah.
Entertainment-wise, I'll be introducing Les Miserables.
Oh yeah, you're gonna. Oh, here's the latest on that, by the way. So, Greg, I don't know if you know this. We were talking about it earlier. Trump is the first show that he's gonna go see at the Kennedy Arts Center is
The
Les
Trump
Mis-
Kennedy Art Center.
It's not called that, but he has made himself the president.
Not yet.
And it's going to be Les Mis. And so now I found, because he loves Les Mis, so just like Tim
Love
and
it.
Autumn, now I guess some of the actors are saying they're going to refuse to perform. Honestly, you know what? You're actors. You're actors. Your job is to go do your job. I think that they should be fired. I don't mean in a Trumpian way. It's like, do your job. Do your job.
You're there for the audience.
You're there for the audience. Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick and tired. What makes you so much smarter than the rest of the world? Because
It's
you can
all about
pretend to be
everyone.
somebody else.
It's only about the people who have these things to say. Like you said, in this instance, it's not about the audience. Anybody who needs to say their opinion, it becomes about them and only them. I agree. I don't even think the actors should state what's on their mind about it. But if you want to, say what you think. I don't want to do this. I wish you weren't coming, but go do your job.
Yeah, do your job. Who else could be in an audience that you don't like? Hey, you know what? If you've been an actor long enough on stage, there have been serial killers in your audience. You just didn't know it. It's all about, as an actor, hey, you're supposed to disappear. That's like rule one. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're doing it well, I don't think that it's Robert De Niro. Somehow you're that good. I've seen you in a million different things, and I get lost. I forget about you. Rule number one, as an actor, you are not supposed to be there. You are supposed to disappear into a character and be somebody beyond yourself. The character you play may have been a Trump lover if they were alive today. Have you ever thought about that? You're supposed to lose yourself in your characters. Nobody gives a damn what you think about politics any more than they would anyone else that they don't know. Why would somebody care what you...
Self-absorbed.
Yeah, no. They all want to go back to the 60s and think that you're not heroes. It's so annoying. You're an actor. Do your job. I mean, not since John Wilkes Booth has we had an actor...
Well, he went a little extreme.
Well, I'm saying
Maybe
is
we should take their lead.
He went a little too. I would say it is. I think that's the biggest political statement an actor has ever made from the.
Maybe
from the
we go the
stage.
opposite direction, Eric. Maybe we decide that because of Trump being president, we just stop doing the show. How about that?
Well,
we
that's
make
the
a
har-
statement.
That's right.
We make a statement.
You're fired.
And all these, I gotta go. I said this before. I'm going to see Elvis Costello in a couple of months in South Carolina.
I think he's going to do that.
I don't know. It's just like rock stars are so damn grumpy when Republicans are president. I didn't come here. I can think for myself. I don't need you. It's so annoying. Anybody that refuses to go out and perform just should be fired. You're not doing your job. Your job, they're going to have elections. You can vote just like everybody else. You can give money to whoever you think, you have a voice, as much of a voice as anybody else. But why, because you role play for a living, do you think that you should have an elevated voice? Why is your voice more important? Because you have decided that your platform, well, you know what you're doing? You're killing your platform, which means after a while, you don't even have a platform anymore. Doctor Who, they wanted to preach to us about everything. Now they got no audience. You've lost your platform. It's absurd. Not only should they perform, they should do the best performance they possibly can. Maybe they'll change his mind. What about what is like music? The Savage, the Beast, the Savage,
Soothe the Savage Breast.
Like this is what you do. This is what you give to the world. And it's like, oh no, I'm not having sex with you tonight because you didn't bring me flowers. Well, you know what? Let's get a divorce. You're an idiot. Alex Williams says there's a crash slowing the ride on 285 near the airport.
That's right, Eric. We're watching it on the jam cam. Couple of police cars in the right lane with this one. Should be clearing soon. 285 southbound, the outer loop, Washington Road, exit 1. You're seeing the brake lights back toward Camp Creek Parkway. And still a few brake lights in DeKalb County on 285 east and southbound, the inner loop. Trying to make it through that I-85 Spaghetti Junction interchange down toward East Ponce, exit 40 there in the Clarkson area. How's it looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75-85 northbound ride slowly starting to improve, but delays remain just before University Ave getting past Spring Street. 85 southbound seeing some volume. It's starting at the Georgia 400 merge getting to I-20. And this report is sponsored by Active Pest Control. Termites are one of the most destructive pests. Let Active Pest Control develop a custom termite control plan for your home. For a free quote, visit ActivePestControl.com today. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you made my day!
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is tomorrow morning at 8.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Aram here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
These days, the Atlanta real estate market is just like Atlanta weather, unpredictable. Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. If there was ever a time to work with a true real estate expert, now is that time. In all my years in residential real estate, this is the most change and volatility I've seen. A misstep could cost thousands. This is when experience matters. My team and I are passionate about providing clarity to our clients through our expertise in real estate. So, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, we can give you that clarity so you can make great choices and the best decisions. And yes, I host Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB, but you don't have to wait until Saturday for help. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and ask me anything. My team and I are here for you. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com for clarity in buying or selling your home.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, this is kind of cool. I want to mention it. You know, we don't do many interviews here. I only do interviews with people that I'm interested in talking to. And we know that I'm so self-centered that does not. I have to actually be interested in somebody else to interview them. And so we're going to have Jeff Garland, who plays the manager.
No
on
D at the end.
I always thought it was Garland.
Oh, it's Garland.
Garland.
Like
you're
Carlin,
right.
but with a G.
Jeff Garland.
Yes.
I was just going to say.
If he's listening now, he's not going to be.
No, he's
not
going. I'm pulling out.
Hey, he just canceled, Eric.
He used to be on Regular Guy's show a lot, and we got along very well. And we didn't know, because time goes by. But he was on Tim Andrews' podcast.
The Popcast.
I'm sorry. And he brought it up and remembered the old days. I loved the show and everything. And so I was like, well, if he's coming in town to do comedy, if he wants to come in, I didn't really want to do a phone thing, but if he wants to come in, he's a blast. And I will remember there's no D at the end of his name. But that'll be Friday, right as we start the show, like 3 o'clock. And I imagine they'll probably stick around for the hour or so.
Sure, I hope so.
And we'll just incorporate him into everything. I really, really, really enjoy and did enjoy on the Regular Guys show every time Jeff Garland came in, because he'll just go. He'll just flow with you. He could stick around and we could go into different segments and he would just be
He loved that he didn't
funny.
have to do bits and didn't have to be on. He could just improvise with you guys.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Obviously, not just that, but the Goldbergs. And I blanked on Larry.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I said Curb because I'm blanking on Larry's last name for some reason.
David.
Yeah, I don't know why I blanked on that. You want to know why? Because I had a really, really good show. So on the last segment, I had to. That's just the way that it
Screw up
works.
the name,
There's
forget the show.
Yeah, there's no such thing as just a perfect show for Eric Von Hessler. But that's the way that it is. That's the way that it is.
We get the Biden brain.
Yeah, so
You've never had a perfect show. Nolan Ryan had 7, well, not perfect games, but no hitters.
Yeah, I've never
can't
had
even get a perfect
no,
show.
No, in all these years. First walked into a radio station in 1989. All these years, I've never walked out thinking that was a perfect show. I've walked out of plenty of shows thinking that was a great show. But there's always something that could have been a little bit better. So while you maybe talk to people about the show and enjoy it, just remember this. I'm somewhere being miserable about the one thing you didn't notice that would have made the show better. But today,
Well, to be fair,
yes,
the history of Major League Baseball, all those games in the history,
Yeah.
only 24 of them were perfect.
Yeah, but if I was not one of the pitchers who was one of those 24, when they were putting me in the Hall of Fame, I would still be miserable because I didn't have a perfect game. But pretty damn good games. Those are valuable as well. I think we had a pretty good game today.
Yeah.
So thank you, Greg Russ, Autumn
Thank
Fisher,
you. It was a shutout at least.
George Clark, Tim Andrews, Jerry Yamamoto. That music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up, get the hell out, and we do what we're told. Shelley Winter is up next. He's got another great show for you, as always. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us, but until then, continue on the journey. Sure, absolutely, continue on the journey, but do not piss off the genie.